And we're on. Let's just do a quick test here. President Trump, can you adjust your microphone needlessly, please? And the music should be ending here. There it is, all the way up. Adjust that mic all the way up for no reason whatsoever. Bring it right down to your back.
Tell you what, the cars are stretched. They say 25 miles.
Yeah, some about 25 miles. Hi, everybody. This is the Trump Screech coming to you from Arizona somewhere. I believe Avenue America, from the original camera work that they had going on here. I am your host here, KevinlyFather, Kevin Williams. We're going to take a look at this, and we will be pausing as we go. So if you want to watch the Trump rally live, go watch it somewhere else. Go watch it on C-SPAN or whatever, because we are going to be broadcasting and pausing as we go to fact check as we go. You're welcome to be in the chat room. If you want to be in the chat room, just chat on whatever format you're working on. YouTube tends to be the fastest. If you're watching on some other format, Twitter, etc., just go to youtube.com/KevinlyFather. The video should appear right there. YouTube.com/KevinlyFather. And there's only about a 3-second delay between what I say. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 seconds today. And what happens. That being said, etc. I've been told today that I say those things a lot. That being said, sometimes I do. So yeah, you can be in the chat room, Libby. You're in the chat room right now. Whatever you say on the platform that you're chatting upon will then appear over in the blue area over there. Now that Trump has needlessly adjusted the microphone, we're going to listen. If he's echoing, you let me know, and I'll have to put on headphones. I'd prefer not to, so we're going to test it out here.
Now, will the press report it today? The New York Times showed a picture of the seats being put down, and nobody was here because I think the picture was taken yesterday. The cars, they just said they've never seen anything like it. It's a great honor to be with you, and I love Arizona. We had a tremendous victory in Arizona.
So earlier today, the New York Times put up a picture, and there was hardly anyone at the rally. Yeah? Is that fake news? We need some alcohol in the house. This is a nice. I think this is half watermelon and half. There's no alcohol in here, sadly.
Arizona that was taken away. I just want to wish.
Is he echoing, guys, or are we okay?
Wish everybody a happy new year, and we're going to have, I think, a great year. Last year.
When do you have to stop wishing everyone a happy new year? There's got to be a cutoff date. We're now on the 15th. So we're halfway through January. Do we stop now, or do we keep doing the Happy New Year thing? You guys decide. I don't care. I don't have a horse in the game. Okay, here we go. I'm getting intermittent circles. Anyone else? Oh, boy. Yeah, we were dropping for a second there, and it looks like it's getting better. I hope this internet maintain itself, because right now it's looking good.
We had a rigged election, and the proof...
Oh, we're getting echo. Hold on, guys. I'm going to have to don the headphones, and my ears are going to start hurting, and I'm a giant baby. That being said, okay. Let me switch to my ears, and the echo should be gone.
It's all over the place. We have a lot of proof, and they know it's proof. They always talk about the big lie. They're the big lie. But
they're the big lie. The only media covering this are the right-wing media. Newsmax and OAN.
Fake news and the lamestream media refused, and they refused.
He's so drunk too. Refused, and they refused so strongly. See what he does say that, but just listen to him. He's just slurring everything he says.
Fake news and the lamestream media refused.
The lamestream media.
And they refused. They refused.
They refused.
They refused to talk about it.
They so refuse, and they're eating refuse. And it's refused.
They continue to refuse to talk.
Refuse, that's 5 now.
About it, they say, while it is unsubstantiated.
Refuse from the standpoint of refusal and refusing they were doing it. They had a candle and they burned it out, and then they put a new fuse in there, and they refused the dynamite, and they refused.
The big lie.
The big lie.
The big lie.
Big lie. Big lie. Big lie, big lie, big lie.
Because they're in the pocket of the radical left Democrats, the same people who are destroying our country, and they're destroying our country.
But we're going to have a great year. It's going to be a great year this year. But the Democrats are destroying the country, and they refuse to refuse.
And you have no...
Reduce, refuse, recycle.
No doubt about it. We've had more problems. We've had more destruction, I think, than 5 presidents put together in the last year.
I cannot fact check that. There is nothing I can do with that.
On top of,
I mean, we're out of Afghanistan. So I don't know.
that all people are...
Chris Wilson says, when does he start crying and say, I love you? He will. I love you. This is not about me. This is about you. They're not banning me from Twitter. They're banning you from Twitter. They're refusing to let you say your speak.
being persecuted for using freedom of speech. You talk about the corrupt election, but more is coming out, and it's coming out far.
RSBN is shaking things up there, literally. They're like, oh, we're going to have a camera in the front row. Yeah, let's do it. Let's have a handheld in the front row with people jostling.
Worse than anyone ever
No one is looking at him. Everybody's looking over to the side. I don't know why.
thought it could be.
Are they bored already? They've been standing there forever.
And it would be a lot easier for
And it'd be a lot easier. What is wrong with him tonight?
election, but more and more information is coming out, and it's coming out far worse than anyone ever thought it could be. And it would be a lot
That is not true.
easier for me to enjoy my life and say, you know what? We did great. You know, I ran twice.
We did great. We lost the election. I'm not president anymore. I'm a single termer like Jimmy Carter. George Herbert Walker Bush is refused. The American people refused me. It'd be a lot easier.
And we won twice, and we did better the second time. We did much better the second time, you know, that 12 million more votes.
Just because Biden did better than that shouldn't mean he's the president.
I always say we ran it twice, but
I always say
we did a hell of
stuck in neutral. He's grinding gears for a second. I always say we got stuck in
a
neutral.
lot better the second time. This crowd is a massive symbol of what took place because the
Because there's 74 million people there?
people are hungry for the truth.
I'm just hungry, specifically for KFC. I have had a craving for KFC for days and days. Someone said, when I said that earlier, days ago, I said, you know what I want? I want KFC. Someone said, I don't remember whom-ish. Anyway, that being said, etc. Someone said, when you have a craving for KFC, it doesn't go away. I think that's true. Judges agree. Oh my God, they have a bucket of chicken in there. You sons of bitches. Back to the broadcast.
They want their country back. They want their country back.
At random said it.
Between the open borders and the bad elections, and we were always thought of a beautiful country that had fair elections, and now we're a laughing stock all over the world. For me,
Always had a peaceful transfer of power, and then we had to fight. We had to fight like hell or we weren't going to have a country anymore. And now we want our country back. So that just all makes sense. It's science.
many reasons.
Oh, I want a pot pie. Oh, you son of a bitch, Deidre. Putting the pot pie up in this noggin? Jojo! Gonna get my lady servant to go get me some pot pie. She won't do it. You know what she'd do? If I ate the pot pie, I would leave like 2 chunks of chicken. Are you gonna get me a QFC pot pie? KFC pot pie? No, she's just, this is her. No. And she looks at her watch. No. Door shut. Judges? Did anyone bring me some? They've closed the window. I can't see.
For many reasons. 2020, despite so far being a total catastrophe for our country, is going to be a big one for the people of this great state. I love this state. I love this state.
There he is. We've reached total drunkosity, Chris Wilson. I love this state. I love his state. You guys refuse to listen. Do you guys hear? Can you guys hear the voices in my head? I love you guys. I love Arizona.
Great state of Arizona.
Great state of Amazona.
Joe Biden used to say a lot. It's wonderful to, let's see, where the hell are we?
Joe Biden has never said that.
We're in Iowa. No, you're Idaho. No, it's Iowa, isn't it? No, we've never
He's such a great storyteller.
done that. We've never even come close. We don't want to do that. That's one of those deals. You do that, it's over. I don't care how well you speak. You do that, it's over. And they did it plenty. But we're going to fire the radical Democrat senator that do nothing on borders, Mark Kelly, and we're going to elect an incredible person. Carrie Lake, I'll tell you, she is incredible. She's been with us from the beginning.
She spoke. I didn't hear her speech. But she's all about election conspiracy. So Trump is behind her 100%.
On the election fraud and everything else, and she's...
By the way, I wrote to the Arizona senator who said, now that Maricopa County has admitted that there were 11,000 ballots that were counted twice illegally. I was like, no, Maricopa County didn't. So I wrote to her. I wrote to her in the official email for her, and no response. That was like 2 weeks ago.
Going to be your next governor, and we're going to end Nancy Pelosi, crazy Nancy's good political career, once and for all. Where is Carrie? Where is Carrie? Carrie, come up here, Carrie. Come up.
Karen, I love you.
Come on up. Proud.
Did he call her Karen?
Once and for all. Where is Carrie? Where is Carrie? Carrie, come up here.
They called her Karen. I'm pretty sure. Where is Karen? Where is Carrie? Sounded like the Grinch for a second. Where's Karen? Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. Merry Christmas, holiday tree. Merry Christmas, bridge crossing the river I didn't jump into. That's not the Grinch. That's Jim Carrey. No, I mean, Cary Grant. No, I don't know.
End Nancy Pelosi, crazy Nancy's crooked political career, once and for all. Where is Carrie? Where is Carrie?
Where is Karen?
Come up here, Carrie. Come up. Let's go. Come on up. Come on up. Proud of her.
Get Karen up on stage. Jimmy Stewart, thank you. I'm making fun of him for saying the wrong name. I don't even know who I'm trying to imitate poorly.
Get out and vote.
Get out and vote.
Make sure it's not a rigged vote, please. Come
Oh,
please.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
The onus is a voter to make sure it's not a rigged vote.
Is this the greatest president we've ever known?
It is not.
Arizona loves you. And I predict at the end of 2028, when you leave office, second term, the whole country's going to love you. They're going to figure it out. They're just afraid of him because he's bringing back the principles that this country was founded upon. And if our founding fathers were here today, they would be Trump Republicans. I can see it right now, Mr. President. George Washington crossing the Delaware with a Make America Great flag at the back of the boat. And Teddy Roosevelt would have...
So he'd be crossing the Delaware as part of the quick reaction force with the guns so that the Oath Keepers could take over the cap. Is that what George Washington would be doing?
Roosevelt would have his Make America Great cowboy hat. We love you. We're so thankful that you're here in Arizona. And when I'm elected, we will finish your big, beautiful wall.
Can they show rim jobs on YouTube? I should probably block that part. I'm going to edit this out because I will be blocked for that rim job right now.
Great job. Thank you, Carrie.
Good job, Karen.
Great.
We love Karen. We love Karen. Karen, 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 Karen.
So what a job she's done as a politician. For 22 years, she was your anchor. She was your highest
Yeah, she's a news anchor. But what a job she's done as a politician.
rated anchor, by the way, and people loved her, and she said she just couldn't stand watching it anymore. And thank you, Gary. Great job. So we all knew that Joe Biden would be not so good. But few could have imagined that he
Yeah, because the stock market has crashed. And by crashed, I mean record numbers.
would be such a disaster for this country, what they've done. Inflation is the worst it's been in 40 years. Gas prices are up 50%. The grocery shelves, the department store shelves, they're empty. You had an
Okay, the first two were fairly accurate. The grocery shelves are not empty.
excuse not to buy Christmas gifts. You say to your
Christmas happened. Did anybody not have Christmas? If you did, let me know.
loved one, darling, I'm sorry. I love you very much, but I just can't. There's no merchandise in Tiffany.
This was his excuse to Melania.
There's no. I wanted to buy the most beautiful ring, but they don't have any rings anymore. Nobody has anything. We never even
There were rings purchased over Christmas.
heard the term supply change. You know, if you talk
That's not a term. That's why you never heard the term supply change. It's supply chains. You never heard the term. You just made it up right now.
there's no. I wanted to buy the most beautiful ring, but they don't have any rings anymore. Nobody has anything. We never even heard the term supply change. You know, if you talk supply chain is not something that we even talked about. It's what happened. And it's a very sad thing. The streets of the Democrat-run cities are, and it's not something that we even talked about. And that's what happened. And it's a very sad thing.
We talked about it?
The streets of the Democrat-run cities are drenched in blood with record high murders and drug deals and human trafficking. There are 4 times more COVID cases. Remember, I'm going to get rid of COVID. I'm going to.
Oh my God, he does the best Biden. I hope he gets on SNL doing that because he's not being president right now.
COVID.
I'm going to get rid of COVID. I should audition for SNL using that as my audition. Yeah, this is President Biden. I'm going to get rid of COVID.
4 times more cases than ever before. Today, the hospital set a record, brand new record. Our beautiful, strong southern border from 1 year ago, it was all set, it was all finished, it was beautiful. We had the best numbers we've ever had at the southern border, and that includes drugs coming into our country. We cut it down to a number that nobody thought was possible. And now it's up 7 times more than it was a year ago. Think of it, 7.
Oh, that happened. Sorry. I kind of like, you know what? I kind of like the calculator better.
Illegal aliens are pouring into our country by the millions and millions and millions.
Millions
and we don't
and
even
millions
know
and
where the hell they're
millions.
coming from. We know nothing about it, but you're going to pay a big price. Biden has utterly humiliated our nation on the world stage. Putin
Hold on, I'm tweeting the supply chains thing. Hold on.
any rings anymore. Nobody has anything. We never even heard the term supply change. You know, if you talk supply chain is not something ring, but they don't have any ring.
We never did. We never heard that term.
Putin is not only threatening Ukraine. I don't know if you've been reading about this, but now he's threatening to go into Cuba and Venezuela. That's a lack of respect, and we never had that problem, did we? There was no problem with Putin and Ukraine. There was no problem with President Xi in Taiwan, China, Russia.
I'm sorry. If you're watching this, we're buffering right now. I'm sorry, guys. I do what I can. Hopefully, we will be in the Ponderosa studios soon, and I will be hardwired directly to the internet, wherever that is.
Iran
And we're back. Sorry.
provocations they never would have dared do.
No, my processor's great. It's not the processor. It's just my connection to the internet. And it just keeps coming and going here. We're not having a good internet night, and I'm going to yell at Spectrum.
Just 1 year ago, they would never have done any of this. They're toying with us. They're toying with us. That's exactly what's happening. And our woke military leaders, these are not people that are respected by Russia and China. And North Korea.
China. Kim Jong-un.
He's starting to shoot missiles again. Do you notice? He's starting to shoot the missiles. And look
Yeah, he was while Trump was in office as well.
at all the press back there. And by the way, more
Where? He has not taken his medication today.
importantly, forget them. Look at the
That's like an Elton John lyric. If I were a sculptor, but then again, no. Dude, you're writing this song. You're not singing this live. It's okay. Look at the press back there. Now forget about looking at it. He's so out of it today. Once more.
He's starting to shoot missiles again. Do you notice? He's starting to shoot the missiles. And look at all the press back there. And by the way, more importantly, forget them. Look
at all the press back there. And by the way, don't look at the press. Don't look at the press. And more importantly, I want to know what's more important than looking at the press he doesn't want to look at anymore. Hi, Deborah and Lindsay.
Look at the people.
Yeah.
As far
Oh, the people, not the press.
as the eye can see.
We can see. We've seen the people. I posted it on Twitter. I'll find it. The RSBN broadcasters were talking about there being 8 to 10,000 people behind the president. And this is how far the president's eye can see. Right there. I'll even go zoom in for you. That's as far as he can see. So what is that? Like, they're saying it's 8 to 10,000 people? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 people deep before the milling begins. But that's 8 to 10. That's as far as Trump can see. I mean, the guy's old, right? Obviously had something happen. Let's see, how do we start this again now? I think we're done. I don't think there's anything we can do. Come on. There we go. Go. People! God damn it, if I just had some KFC.
Look at the people. As far as the eyes, forget the cars.
There. Oh, now they're doing a live shot of it. That is not as far as the eye can see. Can you guys see the I don't know what that is. The structure behind there? That is beyond the people. That is not as far as the eye can see. People like you've never seen before.
The people way back, and I mean like football fields back.
That is a very tiny football field.
And you know what?
What?
I would ask the press to turn
He never played football.
your cameras around that we have, because nobody's ever had a movement like this. Nobody's ever had spirit like this or a crowd like this.
Look at all that spirit. Look at this crowd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a gap. Let's be fair. Let's go after the 5. 7, 8, 9, 10 people deep. Nobody has ever had a crowd like that.
Yes.
The only time there's ever been a crowd in history bigger than that was the inauguration. That was it.
But see, they don't turn the cameras. They don't want to
Like there's a U-Haul truck.
turn the cameras. And
They're turning the cameras.
frankly, they moved the cameras into a bad location for us. They should have been put way back. They have magnifying lenses. They have lenses that could have handled it. But take a look behind you, press. Take a look, because when they show the kind of numbers that are represented tonight, some of the government people said it's the single biggest crowd they've seen yet.
The government people. Some of the government people are there. And they told him it's the single biggest crowd we've ever seen at this field in Florence, Arizona?
And they're not just talking about Arizona.
There's got to be at least 86 million people here. I won the vote easily.
And Right Side has done a great job. Thank you, Right Side, wherever the hell you are. They've done a very good job.
We are watching Right Side right now, by the way.
No, but when you think,
I have the Newsmax feed as well, and it is exactly the same camera angle, so they are right beside each other.
I mean, it's so sad because I say, do me a favor, do
Did he say magnified? I can't. My headphones fell off.
us all a favor, show people
My headphones wouldn't fall off if I had KFC. I know that. Oh, really? How do they make a sarcastic ding?
what's really happening. Turn your cameras around, and you could look 100
Yeah, they were just doing that. They're not that far from the stage. He can see the cameras from the stage.
yards behind the cameras, and it's a sea of people. In fact, the press
12 people is not 100 yards worth of people. I can almost guarantee that.
is
I know, I'm metric.
blocking the people out.
Hold on, I gotta hear this now. This is recent, right? He just said this. You guys are teasing me. Go back. Sorry, let's go back to where I had the headphones falling off. So it was during this time period here.
You know what? I would ask the press to turn your cameras around and show the kind of crowd that we have, because nobody's ever had a movement like this.
I heard that.
Nobody's ever had spirit like this or a crowd like this.
Yeah, I heard that.
But see, they don't turn the cameras. They don't want to turn the cameras. They don't want to turn the cameras. And frankly, they moved the cameras into a bad location for us. They should have been put way back. Buying lenses, they have lenses that could have handled it. But take a look.
That's not what they have. This is the guy who had a career in television for years. I think there were 9 seasons of The Apprentice. Could have been more. I don't even care. And he calls them magnifying lenses.
Look behind you, press.
We got RSBN, we got Newsmax, we got C-SPAN there. I don't know if any of the other networks have cameras.
Take a look, because we're drinking the people out, and that's a shame. What a waste. What a waste. You could look 100 yards behind the cameras, and it's a sea of people. In fact, the press is blocking the people out, and that's a shame. What a waste. What a waste.
There's plenty of room for them to move around back there. They can find a better viewing position. I hope they all brought magnifying lenses.
Dishonest people. Now we have.
It's literally RSBN blocking the people's view on the press stand. They're chanting 2 things, but one of the things is USA. Wide angles. He's complaining that the cameras are too close, but it's as far as his eyes can see.
So now we have the inflation crisis. We had no inflation. Very, very low.
Low, very, very low. Yeah, we had very, very low inflation because there was no demand because of the COVIDs.
We have the...
You shut the country down, sir. You remember that? DeSantis was just ragging on you. He said he should have paid less attention to you when Trump shut the country down.
Afghanistan crisis, the worst and most embarrassing of the United States. The most embarrassing moment. We have the economy crisis.
The crowd is just not into this.
We have the
what?
Moment. We have the economy crisis. We have the... And this is really the woke military leadership.
The mucka. We have the mucka, and really
crisis. When President Xi of China looks and sees what happened in Afghanistan, they don't have fear of us anymore. They don't have respect for us anymore. And you know what? They've taken some of the brand beautiful equipment that was given.
And you know what? You know how much China has purchased of the deal you made with them? 5%. 5%. Well, somewhere between 5 and 10% now. Let's be generous, because I heard this stat a couple of months ago. China agreed to buy X amount of soybeans, X amount of American grain, etc., under Trump's agreement. That being said, 5 to 10%. Just same thing with this tax plan. Remember how the tax plan, all this revenue is going to sweep in. It's going to be great for the American because all this money is going to be made. All these jobs are going to be created. 5%.
When we surrendered over there, that was a surrender. And there's another one the press never talks about. Do you hear them ever talking about what happened?
What?
Not only the 13 soldiers, but the 28 great soldiers that were absolutely so badly wounded with legs and arms, and 250 people.
Right, that was ISIS-K that you called ISIS-X that you said the Taliban was going to control. That's what you said. It was time for the Taliban to control terrorism. And it was the terrorists that killed the American soldiers and maimed the American soldiers.
And $85 billion worth of equipment. $85 billion.
Completely inaccurate. By the way, he poured $106 billion into Afghanistan. He did.
Does anybody know what that represents? I've rebuilt the entire military.
Right, you sent the military equipment to Afghanistan.
$5 billion worth of equipment was handed over to the Taliban.
No, it was not.
And we had a deal with the Taliban. 18 months, we didn't lose.
Oh, you had a deal with the Taliban. Oh, okay. So you're complaining that the Taliban now has weapons, but you had a surrender deal with them.
One soldier, I spoke to Abdul. Abdul was the leader. I said, Abdul, you do anything with respect to you kill anybody.
He let Abdul out of jail, by the way.
We didn't lose one soldier. Think of it. Not one soldier in 18 months. And then...
Right, even under Biden.
We have this fake election, this horrible, disgraceful...
No, it was a real election.
...election.
Yeah.
And by the way, A person that comes here, and we're all together,
Are we talking about the media again?
a person that comes here and
Yeah.
has crowds that go further than any eye can see. There's nobody that can see the end of this crowd, and has...
We can all see it, sir! But that's a wonderful new outfit. Never mind. I was going to go with an emperors. I'm done. I'm as drunk as Trump's.
Cars that stretch out for 25 miles. That's not somebody that lost an election, and now
It is. It is somebody that lost an election, and that's what makes it so pathetic and enjoyable.
because of it, our country is being destroyed. Country is being destroyed. Thank you. Thank you.
Again, the people are chanting two different things. I want to know what that subject is, because this is twice now that some of them are chanting Trump, 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 but there's a whole bunch of people in the crowd chanting something else. This will be the kind of thing where 5 months from now, somebody in a lesser-known newspaper or political site will say, "Oh, the crowd was chanting this. Breaking news. The crowd, it's unreal." No, okay, yeah. Well, we're hearing it now. I just can't make out what it is.
Thank
Yeah, exactly, Sailor Chick. We are hearing the chants of our future.
you, Uncle Sam. There's Uncle Sam, everybody. Uncle Sam, thank you.
Is he going to point out Waldo? Waldo's there.
Now our country's being totally destroyed. There's been such destruction.
Believable. I've been out in our country recently, and it's just wonderful.
No, you see it every day, practically every day. It's all promises. It's all
Hi, Debbie.
things that they never had any intention of
Debbie, did you bring enough KFC for everyone?
keeping. What they've done to energy, we were energy independent. What they've done
We weren't energy independent.
to energy is so bad, and that's causing a big part of the inflation. The mandates are a disaster for this country. It's causing another big part of, when you look at what's happening.
The mandates have been tremendously successful. United Airlines hasn't had an employee die for weeks now because they put a mandate on and says everybody's got to be vaccinated. They lost less than 1% of their workforce. Over 99% of the workforce got vaccinated. The same with, who was it, the Mayo Clinic? Their staff, they got like 70,000 employees. They lost less than 700. And in the last couple of months, United has not lost a single employee, where they were losing an employee every week to death.
Happening with the economy, the mandates are just absolutely decimating our economy.
They
and
are.
I did, you know, we did a good thing. We have almost 300 federal judges on the bench now during my administration, and
All of whom ruled against you.
3 Supreme Court justices, and they're very good people, and they've been doing a good job, and they have some very...
And wouldn't hear your case on the whole election thing, the big lie, remember?
They did a good decision, a big decision on mandates, but I'll tell you what, they have some big decisions coming up, so we're lucky to have them on the bench. It's no wonder that the Joe Biden approval ratings have now crashed well into the 20s. That's a low one.
The 33 is the lowest I've seen, but okay, 20s, whatever.
And some people say they're actually much below that. How do you do that?
I don't know, 15? Is that, what are you going to go with that? A lot of people are saying it's actually minus.
The only one lower is Kamala. Kamala's lower. And the polls show that if an election were held today, we would trounce them so badly in a landslide in every way.
Well, that would be wonderful in fairyland. Unfortunately, the election isn't being held today.
Just as we really
The election was held on November 3rd, and you got landslided.
did on November 3rd. We trounced them.
You didn't.
We trounced them. If we
No.
had
See, that you would be president right now, sir, if that happened, if there was a trouncing.
an honest press, that election would have been much different.
Oh, it was the press.
On top of all of that,
It wasn't the millions of people who voted. It wasn't the millions of people somehow involved in a one has admitted to. It was the press.
2 days ago, the Supreme Court rightly declared that Joe Biden's very sinister and malicious, and I don't know what they're doing. They're hurting us so
I don't know what that sentence is.
badly, but getting out, well, they might be evil. Yeah, they might be. They're either evil or they're
He's just responding to people shouting in the crowd. This could take a bad turn.
incompetent. But they declared the mandates largely unconstitutional.
The mandates for the businesses, yes, but the mandates for the hospital workers, no, that's constitutional.
By the way, we put those justices there for a reason, and I will say this.
A drinking word is anytime he slurs.
The court system and the court decisions that are being made and will be made, it's going to be an incredible victory, in my opinion, for common sense. It's a victory for American freedom. We have to have this victory. If we don't have this victory, if we don't have the right decisions, but we have great, great people. You know, we talk about the three
What? Try finishing a sentence.
justices, but when you get almost 300 judges, federal judges, it's, I think you're seeing things a lot differently right now, a lot
Yeah, Biden already set a record this year without the support of most of the Senate.
differently. What Biden did and the radical Democrats are doing with their course of, you take a look at what they've done with the COVID. I call it the China virus. Is that okay if I call it the China virus?
All right.
It's a tyrannical agenda. It's a criminal agenda, what they're doing. They're handling it so badly. And you know, the H1N1, remember, Joe?
What they should have said is that it's in China and it handled so poorly. They should have downplayed it. They should have played it down and it told them what happened with me was there was 15 cases and very soon it was down to 0.
We used to call it the N1H1. I said, no. But
I said, "Doe." By the way, he also screwed up N1H1, H1N1. He did too. Hold on. And don't hold on. You guys watch.
H1N1 was handled very, very badly. Smaller scale, much smaller scale. Not the same kind of problem. And you know what he's done? I told Fauci as an example, no, I'm going to close it up to China. No, because he wanted it. If you remember, he said no masks. Then he became a... Fauci fought like hell to not close it to China and then admitted that we saved tens of thousands of lives because I...
Hold on. Let's see what we got here. We got, here we go. Which one is going to be right here?
And by the way, the N1, H1N1 that she always calls it.
He got it wrong. He screwed it up. And he makes fun of Biden for doing that. He got it wrong. N1, H1, H1N1.
I closed it in January very early. Then we closed it to Europe. But the problem is...
Everybody makes mistakes.
I didn't listen to him, but Biden's made him the big person. He's like the king.
The big person. He's the king, not Biden. Fauci's the king.
Fauci's the king.
And Biden is tyrannical, but he's not the king. That's the here's the order it goes. King, and then also king, because he knows one word. Oh, lock up Fauci now. We're locking him up now.
But
For, nobody knows.
with these decisions they're making, they're wrecking and devastating people's lives, firing Americans from their jobs, forcing innocent children to grow up in masks, closing their schools, destroying education, crushing their development, demolishing their futures, locking people into their homes. What they've done over the last year, wreaking havoc on our economy, going mandate crazy and running neighborhoods. If you look at what's going on, they're just running roughshod all over this country, and they're truly hurting the American people. Like I don't think they've taken away their liberties. What they're doing is incredible. They've taken
I have no idea what's happening with the RSBN cameras.
away their dignity. They've taken away their liberties.
Okay, that is... Wow. Even seats on the side. Dude, stop showing the crowd. This is not impressing anyone. This is as far as Trump can see? Oh my God, this is fewer people than attend a Weird Al Yankovic concert in Napaville, Washington. It's actually Napa Vine, just so you know. That is a pathetic crowd as far as the eye can see. Look at this. There's nobody on the sides here. I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me zoom in. This is just bad. Display close up. Here we go. Yeah, well, okay. Maybe he doesn't understand that he's got a bunch of spotlights in front of him, so his eyes can't see that far. But there's, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, let's say 17 rows. And then some people standing behind the barrier, and then the cameras, and then a few people. We counted 12 people deep, I think was the deepest that we counted back here. So you add that all up, and that's a small crowd.
Enough is enough, and we are not going to take it anymore. Because our country is going to hell.
Empty chairs and empty tables.
It's a disaster.
Empty chairs and empty stables.
It
I don't know
all
where they are.
happened
They look like, everything looks like a stable to me right now.
in such a short period of time. You know, they want to knock out the filibuster and get things approved, and it's hanging by a thread.
The camera's hanging by a thread. Very wobbly thread. That's bad for your magnifying lens spotlights. That's somewhere there's camera guys going like, "Oh my God, what are you using?" I hope it's a cheap camera.
It's hanging by a thread. This
It
is
is.
the moment the American people must take their lives and future back. We have to do it.
Babe says high school assembly numbers. It is.
We have to be strong. We have to be strong. It's time for the radical Democrats to leave our families alone.
It's time for us to get some spirit and beat Northside High. Who's with me?
Leave our elderly alone. Leave our children alone with their
What?
strong immune
Leave our elderly alone.
system.
Record numbers of children in the hospital with their strong immune systems. Powerful. They're very strongly.
Leave those beautiful children with that powerful immune system. They have a good one. You know, Barron had COVID, and by the time we checked him the second time, it was gone. It's called they have a strong system. And
Is that what it's called?
to be doing what we're doing with the kids, leave our businesses alone.
What's Matt Gaetz doing with the kids?
Leave all of us the Biden. The Americans' health choices are none of his business. We can make our own choices.
And the health insurance plan that I came up with, the tremendous insurance plan, none of his business, none of America's business.
And it hasn't worked. You know, you take a look at New York, what a disaster that's been. You take a look at other states, what a disaster. California's been a total catastrophe.
I'm here, and I'm not seeing the catastrophe, sir, but okay.
And they were locked down. They were locked down as close as you could be. By the way, how did Cuomo do as governor? Really wonderful job, right? What a
Oh, zing, a Cuomo reference. Wow, timely.
wonderful job he did. That guy, I'd watch him every day on television. I say, he's saying the wrong stuff. But it's a shame what happened to some of our great places. But I'm proud that I was the anti-mandate president, and we have great successes in Texas and Florida, and frankly in almost all Republican.
He was the president who locked us down. Remember? Biden hasn't locked anything down. He was the president that said stay inside for 15 days. And then, you know what? Let's do it for another 30.
States throughout the pandemic, I fiercely resisted mandates of any kind, and always
He did not.
will. We have to. They've proven ineffective. So
They have not.
if you really believed in them at the beginning, and I guess we can understand that, but it didn't take long that you would
Because you did.
say, no, we're not doing it anymore. My administration invested heavily in all of the above strategies, including therapeutics. You know, we have therapeutics that are so powerful.
All of the above strategies were lockdowns. Your administration invested heavily in lockdowns. Judges agree.
And so good. Some people could call them cures. The fake news will go
They're not cures.
crazy when you say that. They don't like hearing
Well, they're not cures.
that, but they are fantastic.
And some people could call them watermelons. You could call them whatever you like. I don't care.
Antibodies and antibody testing. And the testing is such a disaster. Remember that say, where's the test? We did an incredible job in testing, and we were really there as
I said in March, everyone who wants a test can get a test. And everyone did. And then I said, slow down the testing. And we slowed down the testing. And then I said, the only reason we have cases is because we're testing for cases. If we didn't test, there wouldn't be any cases. That's what I said. I honestly said that. Thinking about it, I can't believe I said that.
In an infancy, nobody knew anything about it. We figured it out. There's no testing. There's no anything. You can't
There is testing.
get anything, and the testing
I just got some tests.
has been a disaster. They say
By the way, everyone's getting tests. You go get tests, people. Got to find them. Honestly, it is correct that there are not enough tests. But we will be getting tests, and they will be free.
now, can you imagine if you own a testing company and you go up, they say, no, I want $150 a test. And the government, number one, they'll just say whatever you want. They just won't do anything to get the test. These guys are making a fortune. Can you imagine? I want $1,000 a test. And Biden's people say, okay, you've got it. Please get it out fast.
That has never happened.
We're getting our asses kicked here.
But these monoclonal antibodies that don't work anymore, that he's bragging about bringing to the table, $1,500 a treatment.
We gave Joe Biden every tool he could want, yet he's still...
They didn't even tell them how many vaccine doses there were. They lied about that. They said there were 20 million more vaccine doses than there actually were.
Completely failed. The virus evolved, and his strategy failed to evolve, and it just didn't evolve with the virus.
And I'm just going to keep saying evolve all day. A lot of people refuse to hear me say evolve, and I refuse to say evolve.
He's incapable of keeping up. They're incapable. They're incompetent, actually, aren't they, when you think about it?
Are they?
We're now on the 6th variant. I wonder which one next is coming down of
We have had more than 6 variants.
the original virus. And it's by far the most transmissible, and thankfully it's also the least dangerous and the least deadly. And we have to get back our lives. We have to bring our country back. We have to bring our lives back. But instead of letting us resume, and that's what we want to do,
The verbal kitty litter. He got it wrong. He read our instead of us, and now he's got to cover it up. Here comes the verbal kitty litter.
normal lives. Biden's trying to bully and intimidate people with his see how angry he gets?
Shut up!
Anger! You've got to listen to me. Listen.
Well, he whispers and they go nuts. He raises his voice and they go nuts. There's no win.
Listen, where
apart from the election where he trounced Trump. Other than that.
am I?
And the infrastructure package. And the American Rescue Plan. But, if you take away all of his accomplishments, and Biden has done nothing. Hey, they're with me now. Oh, no, they just rang the bell so I would look at them, and they're all just not... Really, the biscuits now? Doing the biscuits at each other. Assholes.
Where am I? Oh, where the hell am I?
Is he saying that, or is he imitating Biden?
Where am I? I'm not supposed to be doing this. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace.
That's true. It is a disgrace. Yeah, he's talking to the crowd now. He's just talking to the crowd. Let's hear what the crowd's saying.
Disgrace. What?
It's great television. What are you saying?
Oh, veteran. Hello, veteran. Look at that. He's a handsome
Oh, there's a veteran there. There's a veteran there.
looking veteran. We love our veterans, don't we? Wow. We love our veterans.
What?
That's very good.
What is
We're
he
gonna be
saying?
Introducing some of them. Thank you.
Who needs a vet? Is it for the horses in the stable that I can't see with my eyes?
You are. Boy, oh boy, I thought somebody
What
was
a
like
good-looking
in trouble
guy.
or something. That's great. Thank you very much. But Biden's trying to bully and intimidate people with his ridiculous, unscientific mandates because he and his entire have absolutely no idea what the hell is happening. And Big Pharma is making a fortune. Democrats are putting corporate profits over the rights of the American people. These corrupt, power-hungry lunatics need to hear us loud and clear. We are done having our lives controlled by politicians and Washington bureaucrats.
Okay. That's actually true because Biden is not controlling your lives.
We're done with the mandates, including the mandates for frontline healthcare workers, which I think you're going to do that. And I know Carrie's going to be involved. Oh, what an
No, the Supreme Court just declared that constitutional, that part.
improvement. What an improvement she's going to be over your current governor. He's a disaster.
He's a Republican.
Somebody said, oh, he wants to run.
But he certified the election, as he was supposed to. But he's a disaster. No, stop! Stop with the buffering! Stupid stupids.
For the Senate, they came to me. They came to me in Washington. They said, what do you think? I said, he's never going to get my endorsement, I can tell you that.
What I worry about is that the Republicans do win the House, especially with the gerrymandering that's happening. The Republicans do win the House, and then he gets appointed as Speaker of the House, and we have nothing but impeachments of Biden for the next 2 years.
Governor is not good. Now, Carrie's the one. She's going to be fantastic. Not going to be too long. Time flies all of a sudden, Carrie. Not going to be too long. But Ducey has been a terrible, terrible representative of your state. And we're
Again, Republican governor that he endorsed.
done taking lectures on science from a party that tells us that men are women, women are men, and the babies, this is a fact, the babies can be killed even after birth, right?
No, that's called murder. It's not a fact.
After birth. They used to talk late term. Now they're talking about, just go check out your governor of Virginia, your former governor of Virginia, and it's all just fine with them. Babies can be killed after birth.
Well, if they're not viable, the merciful thing is to let them expire. Yeah, that's, I mean, you keep them alive as a vegetable.
The radical Democrats want to
I mean, you got to have health care plans for that, and you didn't fix that issue.
turn the United States into a communist country. If you remember during the campaign, I said it was something that was going to happen if they get elected,
What?
which they didn't, but that's okay.
No, but they did.
By the way, and we did have tremendous success. You know, did you ever hear some of the little
Wait, what are we talking about? Please stay on a topic for more than 4 seconds.
things where they analyze elections? If you win Ohio
What?
and Florida, you always
The little things where they analyze elections.
win. We won Ohio and Florida. But if you win Ohio and Florida and Iowa, and we won big, all of them, then 100%. If you win a certain number of states having to do with legislatures and state, we won all of them, every one of them. There's like 15 of them, different.
Is he talking about the bellwether states, which he got wrong in his amicus brief to the Supreme Court? Is that what he's saying? Or is he trying to do the whole, like, no Republican has ever lost if they win Ohio and Florida?
Little tests, and we won them all.
Nixon.
The only thing we didn't win was the election, you know?
Yeah. That is true. That is 120% true. The only was the election, you know?
Every one of them. There's like 15 of them, different little tests, and we won them all. The only thing we didn't win was the election, you know? But I'll tell you what, if you look at 10 o'clock in the evening on election night, you look at Pennsylvania, you look at all of these different states.
Before the votes were counted, yep.
We won those elections, we won them big, and we just, and you
If they hadn't have counted all the votes, we totally would have won.
know what it is? We can't
What?
let them get away with it. We just can't.
With counting the votes? Yeah.
We can't let them get away with it. And I think it's one of the reasons that Carrie, because I watched her in the stump the other day, and I think it's one of the reasons she's doing so well. But I said if they get elected, our country would become a large-scale version of Venezuela, remember? And I didn't really, I said it, and I meant it a little bit. Guess what? It's true. We're becoming a large-scale version of Venezuela, which was a very successful country 20 years ago, and now they have no food, they have no water, everybody's dying. It's being run by a
We have no KFC.
group of killers.
Oh, shut up.
And we have a horrible group. People ask me often,
Yeah.
President
What do they ask you? Wait, they call you President Trump? Do they say sir? What happened to sir?
Could I ask you a question?
No, I want to
We
hear.
have a horrible group. You know,
Yeah.
people ask me often, President, could I ask you a question?
Oh, they just call him president now.
What was the toughest country? And they're so interested. You know, we've made people very interested in politics, right?
Is that what they ask?
Very.
Do they interrupt themselves halfway through the question and then start talking about how difficult, interested politics are? Look at the people back there. Ignore the people. Look at the press. Ignore the press. Have you seen the lights back there? Hollywood used to be the Oscars. Had all the people.
Very interested. What was the toughest country to deal with?
And it's the Democrats.
Was it Russia? Sir, could it be China?
Oh, now he's sir.
Or perhaps North Korea? Was it Iran? I said, no, the toughest country to deal with
Was the Democrats, their country.
is the United States of America. We have some crazy people where they create the Russia hoax and all created, all fabricated. And actually the toughest country to deal with is not China or Russia.
The country. Your country. The United States of America. Your country. Tough to deal with. Cool.
And it's the United States. It's a disgrace. And you notice we don't talk about greatness anymore. We talk.
Who's plaid shirt guy? Oh, the guy up at the front there. Did he talk into his shirt? What's happening here, Phil? Hold on. Let's go back. Did he? I want to see. Has he got something? Okay.
Was it Russia? Sir, could it be China or perhaps North Korea?
No, he's just scratching his nose.
Was it Iran? I said, no, the toughest country to deal with was the United States of America. We have where they create the Russia.
I do love watching the people in the crowd, though. I really do. Just watch she's just so happy right now. This guy, stop. This guy over here, he's just a head shaker. He's wearing his sunglasses at night, along with the Blacks for Trump. But these are all crazy people. These are all anti-Native American, crazy Sacagawea hating people. The Blacks for Trumps, 2020.com. That's a cult. That's an actual cult. She looks concerned. She looks concerned all the time. This guy's shaking his head all the time. I don't know what's happening with Beard Dude here. Watch.
All created, all fabricated, and actually the toughest country to deal with is not China or Russia, and it's the United States.
Yeah, you said that.
This and that. We don't talk about greatness anymore as a country. You turn on.
My brother over here just wiped his nose off on his shirt. Did you guys catch that? Let's go back. Here we go.
Anymore. Other countries are talking about their military and their power and their this and their that. We
got that booger hanging out. Maybe a little bit of snot. It's cold there in Arizona tonight. You can see everyone's bundled up. Let's get that
don't talk about
and rub it right on the
anymore
shirt.
as a
There
country.
you go.
You turn
right on Trump's name.
on the news and watch these fakers. They're fakers. You turn on the fake news at night and you watch what they talk about. It's all things that it's just not possible. And a country
it's all things that what, sir? It's all things that what? Oh, I think he's worse than he ever has been, honestly.
has to be thinking.
I don't know if they've adjusted his medication for the ADHD or what the hell is happening. It could be the strokes. I don't know.
To the future, it has to be thinking about greatness, and we don't even think about it.
What is it? What has to be thinking about the greatness?
Anymore. We don't think about it, and it's very sad, and we are going to change that around, and even in America, we're witnessing cruelties that can be scarcely believed. They can't be believed. The left is now rationing
He's losing the crowd. They're looking bored.
life-saving therapeutics based on race, discriminating against and denigrating, just denigrating.
I hate it when they denigrate stuff. They put it in a dinner crate and they give it to the homeless people on the day after Christmas, and that's how we have Boxing Day. They box it up. They crate it up. It's called Crating Day in much of the world. In the English world, they call it Boxing Day. Here in America, it's called Crating Day, and it's the greatest day of the year.
White people, therapeutics based on race, discriminating against and denigrating, just denigrating white people to determine who lives and who dies. If you're white,
I hate it when
don't get the vaccine.
They're always denigrating white people. If you're white, you don't get the vaccine. Completely wrong. 30% wrong.
or if you're white, you don't get therapeutics.
The Putics?
It's unbelievable to think this.
It is unbelievable, and it's not true.
And nobody wants this. Black people don't want it. White people don't want it. Nobody wants it. It's not even believable. You saw this a week ago where it came out. Nobody can even believe it. They don't even talk about it, and they don't want to talk about it.
No, we've talked about it. I disagree with it too, but it's not about not giving white people vaccines. It's certainly not about denigrating anybody.
About it because they know it doesn't work very well for them. But the Wall Street Journal described the practice race-based preferential COVID treatment. Said that's what it is. You get it based on race. In fact, in New York State, if you're white, you have to go to the back of the line to get medical help. Think of it. If you're white, you go right to the back of the line.
That's not exactly accurate, but yeah, it's a silly policy. I don't agree with it at all.
This race-based medicine is not only anti-American, it's government tyranny in the truest sense of the word. The Supreme Court should
It is not government tyranny in the truest sense of the word. That is not how it works at all.
intervene, shut down this flagrant civil rights violation. Somebody has to get it to the court immediately. By now, it should be clear to everyone that today's radical Democrat Party is driven by a mean and vicious spirit of left-wing fascism. This is no longer just socialism. And when Biden got elected, he didn't get elected on what they're doing now to destroy. There was no mandate. Number one, they lost. But even if they didn't, the margin was so tiny, it was so thin, it was
That it still counts.
so thin, they don't have the right to change our country and everything.
Okay, but they won by 306 to 220 whatever. I say that because he always got it wrong. He always undermined. He always said Hillary was 223 instead of 27. But that's... Anyway, same numbers.
Everything that we stand
So tiny.
for, they don't have the right to do that.
Well, they won the election, so they do.
There's no better example than
And if there's any doubt, then in Georgia, they won 2 more elections. So yeah, they have the right to do things.
their ceaseless, relentless, unending campaign of hoaxes and witch hunts. I've gone through so many witch hunts now. I'm a professional witch hunter beater.
Well, professional witch hunter beater. He actually is, which is weird, but...
Oh, think of it.
Except that none of them are witch hunts, but yeah.
And then it turns out to be fake. After
Oh my god, the witch hunt was fake?
4 years of Russia, Ukraine, the impeachment hoax number 1, impeachment hoax number 2, the slandering of Justice Kavanaugh. Nobody ever went through anything like he went through. And the
I mean, literally, Biden's going through worse than that right now from you on the podium.
harassment of my family, which is a wonderful family of people that are great people. They love our country. And it's happening in New York. They're all taking
They're not even listening to him.
their orders from the Democrats in Washington. But it's happening in New York and beyond. Now the radical Democrats have yet another witch hunt, no different than Russia. The Unselect Committee of Political Hacks. They're Democratic hacks, and they're vicious. And every one of them voted to impeach me.
And 2 Republicans who also voted to impeach you.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
And then you have Liz Cheney, who's now polling at 16%. And Adam Kinzinger, he's another beautiful, he's a crier. He cries every time you talk to him. Who, by
Says the guy who's been whining for a half an hour.
the way, just dropped out of the race because he didn't have the courage to run it. And we just lost Katko, too. He's gone now, too. They're fallen fast and furious. Voted to impeach. We're getting rid of them fast. Nancy Pelosi has turned the U.S. House.
Yeah, and that's Katko's district is strongly Democratic. That's a loss for the Republicans. Likely a loss for the Republicans in the midterms. Who knows? The world changes so quickly now that we have no idea what's going to happen in the midterms. That's all the way in November.
House of Representatives into a Stalinist show trial. That's what it is.
Stalinist?
Into a Stalinist show trial. That's what it is.
Stalinish.
They just get the Democrats to stick together and just vote, and people get impeached. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace to our country what's happening. And it takes the meaning out of the word. The Unselect Committee is out of control.
What word? What? Did I... Hold on, let's go back. What word does it take?
They just get the Democrats to stick together and just vote, and people get impeached. It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace to our country what's happening. And it takes the meaning out of the word. The Unselect Committee...
Anyone? What word? What word did we take the meaning out of?
Committee is out of control and illegally
Country?
collecting many months' worth of phone records that you don't even know about. It's like, this is like a communist country. Text messages, emails.
The word impeached, it takes the meaning out of the word impeached? Okay.
Location data on countless people without notifying them, giving them a chance to defend their rights in court. They have no right. And by the way, the people that go before the Unselect Committee, they called me and they said, I've never been treated so horribly in my life.
Aww.
Numerous people have called me. I said, what was it like with these horrible people? They said, it was really bad. I have never been treated that way in my life.
Oh.
And all they want to do, I mean, most of them, I can tell you, they just want to do a good job, but it's a shame.
Storming the Capitol?
Then they're selecting, leaking all sorts of information.
Oh, God forbid that we have any information.
To partners in the media. That's what they are. They're partners. Look at all those people up there. They came to your great state.
This is this even on Fox News right now? Hold on, we can find out. I don't think any of the media, the mainstream media, is broadcasting this. OAN likely is, but I mean, like, how are you going to watch OAN, right? Newsmax is. That's the right-wing media. On Fox right now, no. The Texas hostage situation. By the way, that's the important thing that's happening right now in the world. There's a gentleman holding hostages. The last time I heard it was 3 hostages in a synagogue in Colleyville, Texas, just north of Fort Worth. So if you're a prayer, pray for those people. But yeah, no, the mainstream media does not care what's happening right now.
They came to your great state to say that nobody
Yeah, C-SPAN's there. Jessica's correct.
showed up for the rally. Nobody showed up.
No, we saw. It's like 40 people deep. It's one of the biggest pep rallies we've seen in that area in Florence, Arizona. I don't even know where Florence is, and I don't even want to look it up.
Bunch of phony people, just a very corrupt. You know, the only way you can stop this is if we had an honest media where they would report the truth, and then it would all, the media is a part of it, and the big tech and the whole group of them.
I don't know what happened there. I didn't do that.
But we're going to beat them anyway, because I really believe we have many more people. You know, you can't be a 50-50 partner when you don't have, they're against voter ID. They want to defund the police. They want to take away your Second Amendment. They want to raise your taxes. All of these
None of those things are true.
things. You're not a 50-50 partner. They cheat on elections. You're not a 50-50 partner.
What is he talking about with a 50-50 partner? What is that? What is he going about?
When you look at numbers in California coming in, like in the presidential, I go out, you know, you're told
Finish a sentence!
you can't win California. Think of it as a Republican. They say you can't win New York, you can't win California, you can't win Illinois. So 3 states, big ones, the biggest. 3 states are gone. So
Well, Texas. Okay.
you had to do like we did 4 years ago, 5 years ago. We ran the East Coast, and we did things that people thought were not possible. Then we did
They didn't run the East Coast. Not even close.
it again, and we did it even more beautifully.
You didn't.
And
I mean, you lost Pennsylvania.
that's what happens. We have more people than they
That is what happens.
do, but they know politics and they know cheating. And the Republicans, I sometimes say, well, would the Republicans ever do what they did? Sir, that would be good.
Sorry, Russell.
We're proud Americans. Won't do it. They won't do it. Because I say, if it's good for them, why aren't the Republicans doing the same kind of thing?
Cheating.
with the ballots. You know, the ballots. They use
Cheating with the ballots. Why aren't the Republicans cheating with the ballots? Come on. I'm telling all Republicans right now, you need to start committing fraud. You need to start voting multiple times like I told you before the last election. You need to start cheating with the ballots. You know, the ballots. The ballots.
COVID as another method of cheating. But why aren't the Republicans?
COVID is a method of cheating.
Sure, we're proud American citizens. We'd never vote 10 times, you know, et cetera, et cetera.
A whole bunch of people in Florida, it turns out, voted 10 times at the villages and also in their home state, which is illegal.
But January
Snowbirds.
6 has become the Democrat Party's excuse to
Democratic.
justify an unprecedented assault on American civil rights and liberties, appalling.
Phil, just ask Checkered Guy out, okay? Just shoot him a text. He's obviously bored right now. He's gonna check his phone.
Persecution of political prisoners. What's happening to those people in those jails? What's happening to those people? And why aren't they doing it to Antifa and to Black Lives Matter and to many other left-leaning, to put it mildly, groups?
Is that mild? The same way that COVID's mild, I suppose.
But the blatant abuse of power to harass their political opponents is disgraceful. It's never happened to this extent. What they're doing to people, it's never happened to this extent. We had people trying to burn down our country, including federal buildings and courthouses in Washington, D.C., and the church right opposite the White House, and the White House itself. They stopped them. Secret Service does a great job, but they stopped them. And nothing happens to these people. We must protect our nation from these monsters.
I mean, there were thousands of arrests. Thousands. But nothing happens to them.
That are using law enforcement for political.
Hold on, the door's up. I don't know if maybe JoJo's bringing me KFC. Do you have a bucket for me? No.
Retribution at the local, state, and federal level. And that's what's happening locally. You think you got out with, you think everything's fine, federal is good, and then all of a sudden, these horrible, corrupt people hit on a local basis, again, working
like none of the crowd can follow what he's talking about there.
With the federal government. There's never been a time so
just waiting on a buzzword. Wait, I think is Plaid Shirt Guy checking his phone? Did you send him a text, Phil?
dangerous as the time in which we are living right now. Keep our prosecutors out of politics, because this could work very much in the other direction also, and all it takes is a few more votes and it'll work in the other direction, and that would be very, very sad. And in fact, if you don't, little video we're going to show you. Let's just put on that video.
Good, because I've tuned out from Trump here. He cannot string together more words than his mouth is all the time for all the people. The COVID, witch hunt, professional.
About New York.
Oh, this is very loud. Crap, it's got music. How are we going to do this? All right. Okay, we'll wait. Scary, scary music, I'm sure.
Never be afraid to challenge the.
Okay, is that Candace Owens?
Focus on Donald Trump. We need to follow his money. What is fueling my soul right now is.
It's not Candace Owens.
President!
Okay, I don't know why she's yelling.
You're going into the office of Attorney General every day.
Oh, this is the Attorney General in Georgia that's attacking. Oh, he's mad now. He's attacking her directly. This is the Attorney General in Georgia who is prosecuting Trump. Well, investigating Trump. Because Trump contacted the state of Georgia and tried to get them to overturn the results of election. Remember the phone call with what's his burger? Which is, by the way, too big and way too mustard for a burger for those of you who live in the South. And it's true. It's science. Judges agree. What is that, judges? They say that KFC is better. Fuck you! Goddamn judges. Anyway, so now he's personally attacking the AG of Arizona. Sorry, not Arizona. Not only not Arizona, not Georgia. I believe it's Fulton County. Oh, is that Tish James?
We have numerous like that.
Sorry, it's Letitia James. My bad. I thought that it was because he has been going on about the prosecuting attorneys in Fulton County. So he's got them coming not only from New York, but also from Georgia. So I stand correct. I said corrected.
That they got elected based on, they don't know anything about me. I don't even know who the hell she is. I never heard of her before. And
they don't know anything about me because I've never heard of her. That's how it works in a child's mind. It's like when you hide from somebody by covering your eyes. He's a mental peekaboo artist.
Us on the basis of they run an
Coming to you live from Avenue America.
Election, and they are vicious, and it's a very dangerous thing for our country, I can tell you that, and it can be reversed, and it might be reversed, and it shouldn't be reversed. It should never happen. The radical Democrat Party has spent years putting American lives in jeopardy through its extreme left-wing campaign to release dangerous criminals from jail, abolish cash bail. How about that? How's that working out? And stop.
You know, all the January 6 people are in jail. They're rotting away in jail. But we also want no bail.
Charging a wide range of crime. They didn't go after left-wing anarchists and violent criminals, including all of the people that we just mentioned. They never went after them. They just wouldn't do it.
Oh, it's Ave America. Thank you for the correction, Marcy.
They went after police stations. They went after police. Nothing happened to them. I did a hell of a job. I'll tell you what,
I did a hell of a job. They went after police. I said, you're not going to get away with that. We're going to go after more police. We're going to march down the Capitol. We're going to go down Pennsylvania Avenue. Pennsylvania! And we're going to march down to the Capitol! And we are going to fight like hell. Or we're not going to have a country anymore. That's what I said.
Passed legislation. Remember, they were knocking down statues and monuments all over the country. Passed a law that if you get caught doing...
This is white power, Vanna white power up here.
...that you go to jail for 10 years and there's no negotiation.
That's already the law. He did not pass a law.
And amazingly, it stopped.
No.
Stopped very quickly.
No.
And then I did something. I had to make a decision. Do we let the Democrats handle their cities and states, or do I go in with the military and do a job?
You do not deploy the military on American soil, sir. You do not do that.
And I left in the military.
What?
And I left in military, screaming the military.
I don't know.
And I left it to the Democrats, and frankly, at least now we know what not to do, because they have done so.
Not send in the military? Not deploy the American military against the military people? Yeah, we knew not to do that already.
So badly. These Democrat-run cities, they are crime-ridden like we've never seen in the history of our country before.
That is completely untrue.
So what we do is, if there's a next time, we're going to do it differently. We had to do it
if there's a next time.
This way the first time. We did the absolute right thing, but it showed what happened. You look at Chicago, you look at New York, the murder rates are at a level that nobody can believe. Chicago, I mean, they have a holiday, some July 4th and other holidays, and 83 people shot.
Yeah, that happened all through your presidency as well. And murder skyrocketed in 2020 under you. You didn't fix the problem.
7 dead. I just told you that in Afghanistan, 18 months without one American soldier being shot or killed. And in Chicago, it's happening every
and 8 of those months were under Biden, yeah.
Every day. Yet when it comes to January 6th...
By the way, soldiers were shot.
Defendants, most of whom are charged with nonviolent offenses, partisan Democrats have celebrated their indefinite detention without trial. These people are living in hell. These people are living in hell. Let them fight. Let them see their lawyers. Let them...
But no bail, bad. Keeping people in jail, bad. Bail, bad.
Go out. They are being treated. They're being hounded like you hound the worst animal.
Hounds? Are they hounding the hounds? He can't even find words.
What's going on is horrible in Washington.
It's a disaster, is it? Are they hounding? Are they dissipating them? Stop it.
And also the jails are filthy, disgusting, dirty.
Oh, for the love of God. That's where you're going to end up, sir. I know. I understand why you're focusing on it.
And they're even being cited by the courts for being so horrible. They're brutal lockdowns. They're brutal. You take a look at what they've got. The
It's a prison, sir.
showers are disgusting. The bathrooms are horrible. And people are being forced to live like that. Let them
The ones who rubbed their feces on the walls of the Capitol? Those people?
use their lawyers. Let them go out and defend themselves. And if we think they're innocent, we should help them defend themselves.
Well, we have a justice system, sir. That's what's happening now. This is called law and order.
Remember when the Democrats went out and Kamala raising money for the people that were caught, but they didn't have a problem because it happened.
Do you want to finish that thought? Now I want to know what Kamala did.
So it wasn't the same thing. These people are being persecuted. One defendant was allegedly.
No, we're not going to find out what Kamala did. He's going to go attack her for raising bail or suggesting raising bail for the rioters and or protesters. Many of them protesters.
Viciously and savagely beaten, resulting in numerous broken bones in his face and a loss of sight permanently in one eye.
Are we talking about the police officer?
And an out of control.
I mean, the police officer actually lost his entire on January 6th. 140 injured police officers that day.
Dope. A real dope. I watched this guy being interviewed.
What?
Control
Hold on.
in his face and a loss of sight. One defendant was allegedly
Allegedly.
viciously and savagely beaten, resulting in numerous broken bones in his face and a loss of sight permanently in one eye. And an out of control dope. A real dope. I watched this guy being interviewed. They wanted to protect him, so they wanted to keep him. He couldn't get on television fast enough.
What is he talking about?
The guy who shot Ashley Babbitt for no reason.
Okay. Well, I mean, she's a trained member of the military, trained by the United States to kill people, and she's breaking a window and crawling through the window to get into the speaker's lobby, where inside, Congress people, American Congress people, are huddled with gas masks. They've got the furniture pushed against the doors because they're worried that people with military training are about to break into the speaker's lobby.
This guy couldn't get on.
Did he say Ashwee?
Keep him. He couldn't get on television fast enough. The guy.
Remember, his identity was not revealed for months and months, but he couldn't get on television fast enough.
Shot Ashley Babbitt for no reason. This guy couldn't get on television fast enough. He's so proud of himself. Let's
Trained killer.
see how he could do without the protections that he got. And by the way, if that happened, the
Whoa, 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 whoa. What did he just say?
television fast enough. He's so proud of himself. Let's see how he could do without the protections that he got.
I don't like this.
And by the way, if that
That is foreboding for that officer. Sir, if you're out there, watch your six, buddy.
happened the other way around, they'd be calling, let's bring back the
The NRA idiots hear this guy say things like that, and that's how people put guns into cars and start driving to Washington, D.C. to try and kill Dr. Fauci.
electric chair. That's what they'd be calling for. He's a disgrace the way he shot Ashley. And after Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff
That crowd is paying no attention to him whatsoever. There's not a single person behind him. Oh, no, sorry. Lady with the green hat is actually looking at him. Everybody else is just kind of meandering with their thoughts.
Schiff, they go down to a shattering defeat. I hope I gotta lose. You know, she wants to
I hope I gotta lose. What?
move to Florida. I don't want her in Florida. She wants to move. They ruined California.
No, that was a completely made-up story about Nancy Pelosi buying a $26 million property on the beach in Florida. Never happened. No credence to it whatsoever, but it just exploded in the right-wing media because it's just an echo bubble.
So let's move to Florida. Hopefully they're going
He moved to Florida. That's exactly what he did.
to go down to a big, beautiful defeat in November. You have to get out. Your state is so important. You got to get out and vote. We'll immediately begin our own investigations into what happened, what really happened, because this is
When?
being totally whitewashed if the Unselect Committee were serious about getting the facts about January 6th, it would focus on answering
January 6th.
the following questions. Why did Nancy Pelosi
wear such a sexy skirt and she was just asking for it?
and the Capitol Police reject the more than 10,000 National Guard troops or soldiers that I authorized to help control the enormous crowd that I knew was coming?
And guess what? Guess what? He won't release that paperwork. He's literally suing them in court to not show that he authorized more than 10,000 National Guard troops.
And the reason I knew it, everybody that I knew was saying, I'm going on January 6th, everybody. And they never talk, by the way, they never talk about that crowd. They talk about the people that walked down to the Capitol.
That I sent down to the Capitol.
They don't talk about the size of that crowd. I believe it was the largest crowd I've ever spoken before.
Bigger than this crowd that you can't see with your naked eye?
And they were
With the magnifying lenses?
there to protest the election. You were there, right? Am I right? I think it was the largest crowd I've ever... And the fake news never talks about it. They never talk about it.
Why would they? Why would they talk about the size of your crowd? While Congress was counting the ballots. They barely covered your speech, sir. We had to watch it on C-SPAN. You were done. You lost the election. The country was moving on.
Exactly
But he has to brag about his crowd size.
how many of
It's just so pathetic.
those present at the Capitol complex on January 6th were FBI
Sorry.
confidential informants,
I tried to turn off my mic. I didn't succeed.
agents, or otherwise working directly or indirectly with an agency of the United States government? People want to hear this. How about the one guy? Go in, get in there, everybody.
Okay, so now they're going down the road of the FBI was actually causing 1-6. This is the road that they're going down, so he's full on into it.
Yep, get in there, go. Nothing happens to him. What happened with him? Nothing happened.
Dude, you were literally telling people to get in there. Go. You literally sent people down there. That was you, sir. We're going to go down. We're going to march down Pennsylvania Avenue to the Capitol. And you're going to fight. You're going to fight like hell or you're not going to have a country anymore. That was you. Not this Epps character. He's like, okay, go. Get past the fence. You sent the people to the Capitol. It was either you or Jerry Lewis. I can't remember. The mind is foggy.
Did any of these individuals play any role whatsoever improving or facilitating the events at the
Improving the events? He's read that wrong.
Capitol? That's what we want to know. And most importantly,
Right, but you're accusing them of doing what you did. But oh no. Just telling people to go is that's not a crime.
why aren't they investigating November 3rd, a rigged and stolen election?
It's been investigated multiple times. Pima County, by the way, just came back with a report either yesterday. Yeah, I think it was yesterday. That they investigated every possible example, cited that people were voting twice. Not a single charge. No problem with any of those alleged twice voting peoples. That's Pima County, Arizona. Once Maricopa was done, and it turns out, Maricopa was fine, and Biden actually got more votes than they counted in the November 3rd election. Then it was Pima. That's what really happened. It was all in Pima, and Pima has been reviewed and audited again, and no, it's fine.
Getting to the bottom of which we will never have a fair and free democracy. Why aren't they looking at that?
They have been looking at the 2020 election, which was, by the way, more than a year ago now.
And there's massive evidence that shows exactly what I'm talking about, and it's coming out rapidly, and it's come out.
It is not coming out rapidly. It's been 14 months. There's nothing rapid about 14 months.
And is coming out very big in the great state of Arizona also.
No, again, no.
The American people deserve answers. The January 6th rally was a protest against a crooked election carried out by unhinged Democrats, big tech, and working with the fake news media, all working together to defeat Republicans and your favorite President, me.
What?
And it was done in many cases without the necessary constitutional approval of state legislatures. You had these things changed.
It's not necessary. More than 80 judges also confirmed that it is not necessary.
By local politicians. In other words, how do we screw the Republicans? They didn't go back. The
No, these are Republican politicians as well.
Constitution says you have to go back to the state legislatures, and many of them did, and they couldn't get the approval, and they did it anyway.
Nope, the Constitution doesn't say that. They didn't go. That's not a thing. That is not how elections work.
Which means it's unconstitutional. And,
Nope.
and many other problems. They did
Nope, that's all of the courts. Every single court case where you allege that, you lost. Because it's not a thing. It's not how it works.
everything you could do. The real insurrection took place on Election Day, November 3rd. Never forget, the reason the Democrats and their media
This is for Babe. The judges wanted me to pause for a second. I don't know why.
allies conduct all of these hoaxes and witch hunts is not because they think the American people are with them. It's because they know that the American people are actually against them.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Because I can't think of why.
And they have to cheat because with open borders, no Second Amendment, a bad economy, highest ever inflation, sanctuary cities, a woke bunch of military leaders that don't know what the hell they're doing, an education system that's failed so badly and they don't want to go to the right system. They can't win without doing a lot of bad things. And that's why the radical Democrats are also currently waging an unprecedented attack on voting rights. You see that happening right now. Their scheme is
An unprecedented attack on voting rights. Trying to make it so that people can vote.
always been to erase American votes with illegal votes, and now they are doing so openly. They want to get rid of that filibuster and they want to change it. Their legislation is not a voting rights bill. It's a voting fraud bill. That's what it is. Sounds so nice. Voting rights, we want a voting rights bill.
Yeah, the rights of Americans to vote. That's in the Constitution.
It's not
He has never read the Constitution.
that. You could also call it the, quote, never let a Republican ever get elected again bill. That's what it
God forbid the American people be allowed to vote.
really is. The only reason they would ever seek to institute nationwide ballot harvesting and unsecured drop boxes is if they really
No one is saying that we need unsecured drop boxes.
wanted to flood the system with illegal and ineligible votes.
Well, they couldn't. It wouldn't work that way because the votes are verified.
This is the only reason. Why else would they want it? Lock boxes. I call them the unlocked boxes. A lot of things happen.
But they're not unlocked. So I don't care what you call them. The lock boxes. I call them toaster ovens.
A lot of big things are coming out about those boxes, and you're going to be seeing that. That's right, coming out
I call them Democrats.
of Georgia. That's true. The evidence of fraud is so overwhelming, starting right here in Arizona, where
And yet you can't present any of it in court.
your Republican state senators had the courage, the
Senators.
great courage, to do a
Courage.
full forensic audit. And this was a really good audit of Maricopa County.
And Biden got more votes.
And you know, you had a thing called findings.
Yeah,
Oh, and they
findings.
harassed these auditors. You wouldn't believe it. These poor people. They
Yeah.
come in.
And they're also declaring bankruptcy now. The Cyber Ninjas is going away.
Doing all
And Doug, your guy there, and Doug, such a great guy, Doug, at the Cyber Ninjas, he said you didn't win, sir.
audit. Their lives have been destroyed, but they've harassed them. So they say I lost the state of Arizona by 10,000 votes, and yet the auditors flagged more than. Well, listen to the. By the way, if I lost,
By the way.
sorry, you don't have
By the way.
crowds like this. And again, you don't.
No. I mean, you've got, I don't know, 3,000 people there? I don't know. I don't know how many people. I don't have crowd counting software. I don't know, let's say 5,000 people. Hold on, we're just going to do some quick math here. 5,000 is, it's less than 81 million.
I don't know what's going on back there. What's going on back there is further than the eye can see. That is serious. But the order flagged, so we lost.
The size of his crowd is serious.
They say by 10,000, and yet they flagged more than, listen to these numbers.
We've been trying. You won't tell us the numbers. You started into this about a half an hour ago.
57,000 highly suspicious ballots for further.
By the way, he should weigh himself, because Buddha, every time I see his statue, he's fat. He's got too much on him. I worry about his preconditioning conditions. And Buddha, all the statues are being destroyed. So I passed a law saying that you couldn't destroy Buddha statues or you'd have to spend 10 years in meditation.
Investigation one. 23,344 mail-in ballots were counted despite.
Oh, what's going on in Colleyville? Is there an update?
The person no longer living at that address. Little problem. 5,000 people appear to have voted in more than one count and not allowed to do that.
Yep, they appear to have. By the way, none of that happened. Again, they just finished the investigation of Pima into the people that voted multiple times. No, not a single case. Not a single example of this actually happening in reality.
And 284,000, remember, they say I lost by 10. 284,412 ballot images were, quote, corrupt or missing.
Not true.
Other than that, it was a wonderful election. Congratulations. And then you listen to these people say, oh, everything was wonderful. You listen to the fake news saying how it was so wonderful. The rhinos on the Maricopa County Board, they are horrible. The commission even admitted under questioning in Congress from your great Congressman, Andy Biggs. He's here someplace. That they had deleted. Listen, Andy went, they made their statement, their typical statement.
We'll watch that together at some point, but that's not, whatever he's about to say, that didn't happen.
I say a bad word, but I see some.
Because that would be non-stop headlines in the right-wing media. We know that. If Maricopa County admitted that 11,000 votes got counted twice, here's the deal. The envelopes are scanned twice. If the signature needs to be verified, okay? If the signature needs to be matched, there's a process for that. And that process involves scanning the signature again, the envelope, not the ballot, the envelope, scanning it again and sending it up the chain for further verification. Multiple people have to verify any rent. I just read the word rent on the screen and I'm 107 years old. Thanks, Allison. The judges loved it. If the ballot needs to be cured, not the ballot, again, I'm sorry. See how easy it is to get confused? If the ballot envelope needs to be cured, they make another copy of it. That's exactly what they're supposed to do. So they have the original copy and they have the other copy and they can then send them to different places and they can be, but you always have a backup copy. Just in case, because you want that vote to count if it should count. But that was one of the findings. And that has become, oh my God, all these people voted twice.
Some young, beautiful children out here. But they made, and I was also going to come in with...
But they made... There's young, beautiful children out there. But they made... And I was also going to... A lot of dogs like to eat things. They were hounding like hounds. The press. Oh, the media. Let's not talk about the media.
Without the hat, but I said it's windy as hell here, and I don't want to screw up any visions of my wonderful hair.
Any visions? Like ayahuasca visions?
It's windy.
Oh, the rally's over. The Newsmax feed is over, so we don't have too much to go here, folks.
Sir, if you want to have a lot of hair blowing all over the place, don't wear your hat. I said, give me a hat, please. But Andy Biggs did a great job, and he was in Congress, and they read this statement.
Yeah, Andy Biggs is a Congress baby. We know that. He was in Congress.
Which was nonsense. And then he asked them a couple of basic questions, and they looked like a bunch of real dumb, unpatriotic, crooked
hounds? Hounds? Were they hounds?
People. They had deleted, he asked them, why had they deleted much of the data which was under subpoena? That's not a bad question. They couldn't answer it. Why? Why? Why did you delete everything?
Because they didn't.
Why did you delete so much? They couldn't answer the question.
Because they did not.
There can only be one reason. Your rhino Republican governor, Doug Ducey, and a group of other rhinos that you have, they did nothing to help our country or our state. And by the way, he's so terrible. And remember this, immense evidence of fraud impacting tens and tens and tens of thousands of ballots has also been reported out of Pima County and other
we just talked about that.
counties where we weren't even looking. They weren't even looking at Pima County, and they've got tens of thousands.
Hold on, guys. I'm going to pay attention to the chat room for a second here. Yeah, you know what? Let's pull up actual news. Give me a second here, folks. What's do we have an update here? Hostages safe after standoff at Texas synagogue. Yay! Thank you for alerting me to that, guys. All hostages are safe and situation over at Congregation Beth Israel Synagogue. What?
Numbers, but in the future.
Okay. I'll go back and read this again. All hostages are safe and situation over at Congregation Beth Israel Synagogue. No, I read that correctly. It's just Fox Chiron. All hostages are safe and situation over. Okay, situation over. The situation is over. Yeah. I just didn't read that with the right tonality. Okay, let's go back to Trump. So good news, fantastic news.
Of votes. And then you hear there's nothing wrong with the election. And you know what? We still have it in.
Oh, they've already deleted it. Okay, I thought I might have to do this. Hold on. We've got, we might be able to just pull up feed this right away. I was making duplicates just in case, so we will have it. Let's go back here. Let's see where we are.
Hurting the American people like I don't think they've taken away their liberties. What they're doing is incredible. They've taken away their dignity. They've taken.
This plan brings the fight to where we.
Office. That was very different with Trump. I was there.
Okay,
personally.
hold on. This is way through here. It's going to be a while. See if we get lucky.
Decisive and let the world know what the hell happened in Arizona, because it's happening in other states right now.
Try again? I don't think we heard that part. We are having throughput issues, Jojo.
Coming out of Georgia, that's true.
I think we saw that.
The evidence of fraud is so overwhelming.
Yeah, we saw that.
But they made. I was also going to come in without the hat, but I said it's winter.
Okay, there's the hat speech about the hair.
Pima County and other counties where we weren't even looking. They weren't even looking at Pima County, and they've got tens of thousands of votes. And then you hear there's nothing wrong with the election. And you know what? We still have it in other states. We're now anxiously awaiting for Attorney General Brnovich, and hopefully he's going to do his job. I think he's a good man. I think he's going to do his job. We'll find out. I think it's a very easy job to do, because anybody with any comments, any common sense is going to look, and they're going to take a look, and they're going to say this was a total fraud.
No, nobody's looking. Look at the crowd behind him. Literally, they're looking at their phone, they're talking, they're looking away. No one, if this guy's got his eyes closed, this guy now has his sunglasses off, he's looking away. This guy, he's plotting to kill somebody. Oh, you can't, sorry, my mouse was on the wrong screen. This guy's plotting to kill somebody, this guy's looking away, she's looking away, look at this guy's looking away, this guy's looking down, this guy's talking to somebody, this guy, I mean, literally nobody. This is nice, so checkered shirt guy is texting back Phil, that's nice to see. I can't figure out this character. With his mock zip-up turtle. I don't know I've been watching this cat, and I have no idea what's happening here.
But the Attorney General is now looking, and hopefully he's going to do his job. All we want him to do is his job. Well, he's got to move quickly, I would say that. We've all been waiting a long time. I understand what you're saying, but to take appropriate action, along with the state legislature, regarding what we call the big steal. It was a big, corrupt steal. And hopefully the Attorney General and your state legislatures will be smart and fair. The world know what the hell happened in Arizona, because it's happening in other states right now, even at a level maybe.
Should we do another movie night tonight, guys? Does anybody want to watch a movie together? We could do it. Nah. It's getting too late.
Beyond Arizona. Our elections have to be decided. We have to be decided.
The elections have to be decided. They absolutely have to be decided. I can't even do it.
By legal votes only. Legal votes only.
We need to decide them.
That's the only way we save our
by
country
legal
and
votes
we save
only.
our democracy. More evidence is coming, and it's coming very, very fast. In Georgia, the Secretary of State is now really looking at an investigation that I think is going to be a bombshell.
That's Brad. That's the guy you've been criticizing for all this time.
And supposedly it's on tape, it's on camera, and we'll see what happens. But they have illegal ballot harvesting at a level that nobody could even believe possible. So we're going to see what happens.
No, okay, here's what's going on. I figured this out in a half second. Here's what's going on. What they're seeing is they're tracking cell phone data, right? And they're saying you can see how these cell phones are going to the ballots, to the polling places and to the drop boxes several times during the day. So what must have happened is that people are gathering up votes and ballot harvesting, and they're voting multiple times. That's absolute definitive proof that ballot harvesting is going on. Here's the problem with that. Uber and Lyft and different services provided by many different charitable organizations and the parties themselves pick people up and take them to the ballot boxes, pick people up and take them to the polls. So an Uber driver might go to a ballot box. That doesn't mean he's ballot harvesting. He's just driving people. It's just cell phone data they're looking at. They're finding cell phones, and it's all anonymous. There's no subpoenas on this, but you can buy cell phone data. So you can see patterns of things. So they found different places in Fulton County, because they're only looking at Fulton County, where people or a cell phone is visiting a polling station 4 or 5 times during the day. That's what happens when you have people volunteering to drive people to the polls. There are people who start on election day at 7 a.m. and just drive people back and forth to the polls over and over and over again. And that's what they're saying is proof that President Trump is still president. They're just such fucking idiocy.
In Georgia, but it's far more than necessary to win the state of Georgia. Like this is far more than necessary to win the state of Arizona. And in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and other states, many things are like.
Oh, by the way, I wrote that. I contacted one of the groups that have come up with this. Oh, look at these cell phones. Oh, it's all this harvesting. I wrote to them and I sent them examples of, Georgia Rock the Vote. That's not the right organization. I don't remember now. But I sent this to them weeks ago and said, this is what's happening. Just so you know, just take a look. Could that be the cell phones that are going to the ballot boxes 4 or 5 times or 10 times or 20 times a day? Could that be it? No, they're still on it.
Likewise,
they know. They've been alerted.
Happening, and they're happening fast, and the people are very angry. And I'm talking about political people, politicians. They got
political people
duped. And
the political people are very angry.
Now they're finding out what happened. The people have to be free to find the answers to a very corrupt election, and if not, they will never trust again, and our country will be.
Jojo, bring my knapsack in, and I'll give you my laptop because it's not a Mac, so it works.
Absolutely decimated.
It's Marcy's laptop, actually.
Weak Republicans who fail to recognize election fraud and, frankly, open borders and all of the other things they are doing now to destroy our country. They're going to be losing elections at a level that nobody thought possible because the people of our country understand, in many cases, much better than the politicians. Been lying about everything for 4 years, claim 2020 was the most secure election in history. Give me a break. Give me a break. Those are bad people. I watch them on television. All you have to do is just look at the files. The numbers that are coming out are astronomical, despite the fact that they themselves spent years claiming our elections were so vulnerable. You know, a lot of the people that are talking about how honest they are people that throughout years have been saying how corrupt our elections are. Was the beauty, because this one used all of the mail-in phony votes and all of the things that happened to cheat. When Republicans get the chance, we must act.
There were no evidence of any mail-in phony votes. Like, all the votes that come in have to be from registered voters. That's the way the election works.
Immediately to pass voter ID, citizenship residency. We need confirmation
Citizenship residency? The hell is he talking about?
of that. We have people.
We need, hey guys, go out there and get your citizenship residency confirmed. Uh-oh. Did Newsmax kill the feed now too?
We must act immediately to pass voter ID, citizenship residency. We need confirmation of that. We have people coming in, we have no idea where the hell they come from. And take a look at California as an example. No more unmanned and unsecured drop boxes, and no more ballot harvesting, which is illegal. And they did it at levels that nobody can believe. We must return to the historical norm of voting in person on election day unless you have a valid reason.
No more early voting. Trump wants to make it much, much, much more difficult to vote. That's what he just said.
Absentee, like you're in the military or you're very sick. You know, the fact is, if you want honest elections, very simple. Same-day voting, unless you're, again, in a faraway place, the military, sick, and you have really a note.
Or disabled. A note from your doctor?
From the doctor.
Yeah.
But same-day voting, and you'll be surprised to hear this, paper ballots. Paper ballots.
Yeah, every state where Trump claimed he lost, or he won that he actually lost, every single ballot in those states is a paper ballot. Every single one.
The good old-fashioned way. You know, there are a lot of countries that use paper ballots. They don't have the problems that we have.
We use paper ballots. 95% of the ballots in this country are paper ballots.
They don't have names going in. Let's see, I'm going to vote for Trump. They don't have those little problems. No, paper ballots.
It was a love that was for Biden.
And same-day voting. And a Republican Congress should conduct a forensic audit. We have to get rid of Mitch McConnell, by the way, just in case.
Just in the middle of the sentence.
A forensic audit into the
forensic audit.
Hundreds of millions of dollars that Mark Zuckerberg dumped into local election offices. And you take a look at what he's done.
Okay, Jojo just said funny KF. I want KFC. I don't know. You know why your laptop is spinning? Because I'm blocking the broadcast for you, because you should be out right now getting me some KFC. Please? Uh-oh. What just happened? What? No, I'm here. Everything just went dark, by the way. I think Jojo just shut off the power to the studios. You know what? I'm only joking, Jojo. You don't have to go get me KFC. You're the best person, and I'm sorry for hounding you like a hound. The last thing I would want to do is denigrate you.
You just take a look at what they did. He put in 417. You know, if you spend more than 5,006.
That is true. Jojo did take me to In-N-Out today, and I sat in the back seat so I could put my leg up, because my leg still hurts after 8 weeks, and I think my foot is just never going to work again. But she did sit in the drive-thru at In-N-Out, probably for about 45 minutes today. We had nothing else to do. In my defense. Also, I wanted it. But I was trying to get my iron level out. And oh yeah, we were trying to donate platelets today. And I might see those? Those are Band-Aids. I want you guys to see this very clearly. Okay? I failed the iron level test. I don't have enough iron. And the nurse is all like, are you vegan?
$600. They put you in jail. This guy spent $417 million, and most of it went to the Democrats, almost all of it, and nothing happens. But to make these critical reforms...
So you're saying that we need to have reform for federal election spending? Yes! Finally, I agree with this man on something.
Between now and the time that's so important to make them, we have to act. And we have to act.
But I had a 12.6 and then a 12.8 iron level, which a few years ago was just fine for donating platelets. But they changed it for men, not for women, just for men. I don't know why Trump isn't railing against this. And just for white guys. It's got to be 13 now. No, it's just not. It's all men. The iron level has to be 13 instead of 12.5. But I would have been able to donate under the old standard. But I still had higher iron than JoJo, so she couldn't donate.
Fast, and we have to act strong.
So the takeaway there, I won.
Our country is going to be bigger and better and stronger than ever before. We're going to stage a comeback, the likes of which nobody has ever seen.
Okay, fine. Great. Holy smokes, Jessica has a 9.8 iron reading? I am not Iron Man. USA. USA. I don't know.
We need every one of you to pour out your heart and soul into ensuring the radical Democrats go down in a midterm defeat. So
I don't want to see any of them pouring out their heart and soul.
Crushing.
What does that even mean? Let you write ballads? Because it was the ballads that were the problem. We want Republicans to mail in ballads. So pour out your heart and soul on a piano or a guitar or a tuba if that is what you play, or a cello or a other musical instrument, and send in your ballads to the real ballots at the GOP.
They cannot steal it or corrupt it, starting with your ultra left-wing senator here in Arizona, Mark Kelly, who only fights to allow your border to remain open, and of illegal immigrants that are pouring into Arizona on a daily basis. He is a disaster who supports H.R. 1 and all the Democrats' corrupt schemes to destroy election integrity nationwide. He's a disaster. And you have some great people running, and I'll be making an...
By the way, HR when there's nothing in there to destroy election integrity. Nothing. All it is saying, you know what? When it comes to federal elections, the states can have their own elections if they're having, like, election for governor or whatever on an off year. No, we're not going to be involved in it. But when people are being elected to federal office, since we are the federal government, the states have to have minimum standards. You can't just make up whatever rules you want, because all under the Constitution, in Article 14, every single citizen is entitled to equal defense under the law. And that overrides anything the states have power for. The 10th Amendment, people always talk about the 10th Amendment, any power not specifically mandated to the federal government belongs to the states. Yes, that's true. But the 14th Amendment is in the Constitution and supersedes the 10th Amendment and says that everyone is entitled to equal protection under the law. Therefore, to the equal protection of their ballot for elections under the law. It's not hard to figure out.
An endorsement at the right time, I'll tell you that. But we'll be making an endorsement, and amid the worst border crisis in history, Kelly's voted repeatedly for open borders in Arizona.
Again, no one is watching him. I'm trying to find a single person actually looking at Trump. Nobody.
Arizona. How the hell did you elect this guy? He voted against the border wall, against Remain in Mexico, against deporting violent criminal aliens. And we have some angel moms with
Who the hell's this Kevin Williams guy in the chat? Somebody block him.
us today, and I think they are the greatest people. I became friendly with them 4 years ago. These are the greatest people. How they have suffered. His story on mass amnesty, sanctuary cities, and stimulus checks for illegal immigrants that you pay for. You know, you're paying for all of this. You know, illegal immigrants now are being treated better than
But by the way, not what's happening. Not what happened.
veterans. They're being given medical, they're being given housing, they're being given education.
So let's give the veterans medical and housing and... Oh, we do?
And the veterans are being given nothing.
Not true.
It's crazy.
That is crazy, because that's not what happens with veterans at all. By the way, if you happen to know a veteran or you're a veteran yourself and you're suffering from depression and or otherwise, there's a Veterans Helpline right there. There is help available.
Mark Kelly voted yes on Joe Biden's brutal attacks on American energy. Democrats, socialists, spending, and really of driving runaway inflation, and he's driving it through the roof. And by the way, I have
How's he driving through the roof?
teleprompters that are moving all over the hell of them.
So you're using teleprompters. Uh-huh.
And it seems the thing they like the best is when we just get off those damn things and talk right straight from the heart.
Which you don't. It is windy there. You can see the teleprompters moving.
You ever read a teleprompter where it's waving like you're on a ship and you're starting to get seasick as you talk?
So wrap it up.
Good job of tying up those teleprompters, fella.
They are wired down. They have 3 wires on them each. But the screens themselves, I don't know how you would wire the screen.
I'm stuck up here with 55,000 people or something.
No. That's 55,000. That gym crowd that we just saw a few minutes ago, that's 55,000.
And I got a teleprompter that's useless. Useless.
Words are written in some language I've never heard before, and they're made up of all those letter things.
Good job, fellas. Look at the wind. Look at those flags. Look at those flags. What a
So much wind that Biden is sending to make it so
beautiful
that...
sight in one way, but in another way you say, man, it's windy. Less than 10 months from now, Arizona is going to send the ultra-leftist
Good job, Newsmax.
Mark Kelly out of Washington.
I was like, wait a minute, what does a windy flag look like? I hope they can get a shot of this.
In
And they did.
disgrace. And you're going to send a proud and tough Republican patriot to the U.S. Senate to make America great again. You know, we made America great, and I was going to use that. I had a wonderful...
Yeah, he's going to go in, and then he thought, gee, what do you guys say? Do you like make America great again?
theme. It was Keep America Great, but I can't use that anymore. Keep America Great, because
Keep America great.
frankly, whether you like it or not, and some people won't like, America is not
Whether you like it or not, and some people like it.
great now. We're a laughing stock all over the world.
You
and
are.
You know, I really
You
think
are.
the borders are a horror show, but I really think that the Afghan withdrawal, the way they did it so incompetently with moving the military out first, leaving thousands of people as hostages, leaving that equipment, I really think that the Afghan withdrawal did more to hurt our country than any single event that I've ever seen. And I think maybe it's the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
He said that earlier, remember?
This November, you're also going to elect an outstanding new governor. And I'll tell you,
Is he going to introduce Carrie Lake again?
you better do a good job, Carrie. I'll come here. I will not be nice. If she doesn't do a great job, I'll say, Carrie.
Yeah, because Trump has loyalty to no one. Michael Cohen was right. Eventually, you will be burned by Trump.
I don't like you anymore, but I don't think we...
I gotta say, and the judges agreed with this too, because they had some of the cinnamon raisin bread. Stephanie's cinnamon raisin bread is world class, and at random can attest to that as well. Mostly because it's made in the Easy Bake Oven that was sent to her for Christmas.
We have to worry about it.
It's about this big. You combine the ingredients. It takes about 8 hours, and then you pour it in there. You put it in the Easy Bake Oven, and then there's a light bulb in there that makes it lukewarm and runny.
I don't think we have to. But Carrie will be a warrior for the people of Arizona. She'll be strong on the border, tough on crime. She's very tough on crime and very strong on the border, and always support our amazing veterans. You know, the Trump administration had a 92% approval rating with respect to the vets. It's the highest by 32 points. You know, for years I'd be turning on the television and watching the news. It was more real then. Perhaps it was fake also. I don't know. But it was more real. And all you'd see would be how badly veterans are treated. You'd see it happen so often. If you just take a look, you haven't seen that in years. My people did an unbelievable job in so many ways, rebuilding the military and everything else. But my people did a great job on taking care of our vets. What we did was incredible. You know, we had legislation passed where if you're a vet and you can't get good service, you go to a local doctor and we pay for it. That saved so many veterans. Carrie will stop radical indoctrination in our children's schools. Most of all, Carrie will be a tireless champion for election integrity. I really think she's going to be incredible for election integrity. That's, I think it's almost her #1 issue. She's not happy when she sees this happen, and the people in this incredible crowd aren't happy. We're pleased to be joined tonight by many great Republican leaders. We have some great ones. I already mentioned a man that was so incredible on this election situation. Senators came and they said, wow, we heard this, and they had no answers.
So under Biden, the Veterans Association, no, Veterans Agency, the VA, still has over 90%. Numbers like you've never seen before. They're still at over 90%. I'm looking at the most recent polls. So it's fine. The Veterans Administration.
Because the right man asked the right question, and he's Congressman Andy Biggs, and he's a great guy. Andy, where's Andy? Where are you, Andy? Where's Andy? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
They might call it Veterans Affairs if it's having to do with the health care.
Paul Gosar.
I honestly don't know what the VA stands for. I know there's a Veterans Administration, there's the Veterans Affairs.
Paul. Thanks, Paul. Paul has been incredible. He's tough. You probably know that here. He is tough. That I can tell you, he's tough. And a woman I've really gotten to know and respect, and a woman that fought like hell on impeachment hoax #1 and impeachment hoax #2, Debbie Lesko. Debbie.
She's a special kind of stupid.
Thank you, Debbie.
All right. Well,
it was good having her on my side, I can tell you.
We can skip the
having them
introductions
all
here.
on my side.
Hold on.
It was good. From the B candidate, Blake. Where's Blake? Successful guy, a really terrific guy, Blake Masters. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's all online, and it is online too. Thanks, Sheriff. So, justice reform and helping us in so many ways. Alveda King.
Lot of it. The end of the speech, by the way.
One of the greatest.
Come on.
A man who's tough. You'll be.
Oh God! Come on, enough.
How bad their ratings are. You see the CNN camera go off.
There's no CNN camera.
But you know what? One American News has done a great job, and here's the story. What just happened? The woke executives, I don't know what the hell they're doing. They have so much debt. AT&T is a company that is in serious trouble, and they need AT&T. And AT&T saying that they may no longer agree to carry this network that's doing very well. You know why? Because people told them not to do it. So maybe what we should do is not use AT&T. You know, if we did what they do, to Republican
Okay, AT&T started the year at $25 a share, and now they're at 27. So
companies. We would have no difficulty. We just don't
AT&T is so much trouble.
do it. It seems like not nice, right? But they're not nice. I want to just thank the Herrings are here, Charles and Rob, wherever you may be. But these are patriots. These are great, great men. Where are you? What people? Thank you very much. Thank you, Robert. Thank you very
That's amazing that he can pick them out in a crowd of 50,000 people.
much. So I don't know what this is. This is horrible. This is a great network. These are great people. I watch it all the time, and you really get the truth. And they want to
From OAN. He's talking about OAN.
cancel them now because of politics, for purely political reasons.
Because of Pollux.
It's a disgrace what's going on, but I don't think the people are going to stand for it, especially with One American News. That you really should be commended, both you and Robert. Thank you, Charles. Thank
Remember, it was AT&T that pumped them up with millions. AT&T kept them afloat. Now it's just my pillow.
you, Robert.
I have One American News. I pay for it, not much, so that you guys, so I can cover the stuff that's on One American News. And they also gave me a copyright strike on YouTube. They have been banned from YouTube for constant misinformation. They have been banned from YouTube, and yet they were still able to give me a copyright strike on YouTube. On YouTube. The platform from which they have been banned for lying, and they got me a copyright.
They said, please don't mention the word boycott, so I won't mention it. I'm not going to use the word boycott. I will not say boycott AT&T because I promised Robert I will not do it. So I will not say boycott them. Don't lose hope. Don't lose hope.
What is happening with this guy back here? Look at this guy. He has just been doing blue steel all night. Here, this guy, right here. Fake turtleneck, fully zipped up guy.
Again, and with your help.
What? Just look at him. These two right here. These two characters right here. I just don't know what's going on with that look.
We will again be putting America first, and very soon, because we're not putting America first anymore.
He's upside down with the sign.
When we knock down and when
He's biting the sign. Oh, he's hungry. That's why he's angry.
we do what we did with the Russian pipeline.
Where's his other hand? Why didn't he just use his hand instead of biting the sign?
How about this? I end the Russian pipeline in Europe, and then I hear Trump is soft on Russia. It's the biggest thing they've ever done, and everything else. And then Biden comes in his first week, he approves the Russian pipeline. I ended it. And now they're going to be selling energy all over Europe. When Republicans take it,
Yeah, because our allies in Europe said, no, we do need that energy.
and then they say Biden is tough on Russia. Biden is not tough on Russia. Biden's not. He's only tough on Republicans, and that's not him. That's the cabal that surrounds him.
Okay, then why are we blaming him?
When Republicans take control of Congress, one of our very top priorities will be to stop the flood of illegal aliens across our southern border. Under my administration, with the help of two great men, these are great men. Tom Homan, did you ever hear of Tom Homan? You never want to get in a fight with Tom Homan. And Mark Morgan, these are two great men, and they had help from others. We did such a job on the border. They knew exactly what they were doing, and we did that job. And as I said before, we had the greatest.
Correct. Obviously, clearly, he's hangry for KFC. He's had that craving for days, like I have.
Most secure border in U.S. history. All Biden had to do is go to the beach. Just go.
I always go to the beach. It's always go to the beach. Just go to the beach, and everything would have been fine. Country, because that was his plan after winning the presidency.
Go to the beach. We had a policy: stay in Mexico. You don't have to know what it is, but makes sense. We ended catch and release.
You don't have to know what it is.
We ended asylum fraud. We struck breakthrough agreements with Mexico and Central American countries. I ended payments to all of these countries because they weren't behaving at all. They were sending us their prisoners. They were sending us a lot of bad people. I said, how much money do we give to El Salvador? How much money do we give to these countries? How much money are we giving to various, including Mexico? And I have a lot of respect for the president of Mexico. Yes, he may be a socialist, but I like him. And you know, remember, he gave us 28,000 soldiers while we were building the wall. That's why we had such great numbers, even with 28,000 soldiers.
So the soldiers were why we had great numbers, not the wall. Okay, well, I mean, that's correct.
For nothing, we paid nothing. Now, I did say that if you don't give them to us, we're going to put tariffs on the cars coming in, but we don't have to go into that. We expedited removals and dangerous criminal aliens by the thousands, and we built nearly 500 miles of border wall. 3 weeks it would have been finished. In 3 weeks. And it took 2.5 years to get started because they had all of these lawsuits, 11 of them. We won every one of them. But we had 11 lawsuits brought by Nancy Pelosi, mostly in Congress. And we built almost 500 miles of wall. And we built in Arizona 225 miles right here. And your senator, by the way, I think he's going to want to take them down. Let's take down the wall. And these walls are really what they wanted. I went to Homan, I went to Mark Morgan, and I said, what do you want exactly? And they brought all of the Border Patrol people up to Washington, and we had a meeting, and we got the wall. They wanted everything. They wanted steel and concrete. They wanted rebar. They wanted wires going through all parts of the wall so they can hook up high technology. We gave them everything.
Again, that was the part they didn't want him to talk about. It may be a good idea not to talk about that, sir.
Joe Biden took...
I forget what the phrase was. What was it? It doesn't matter.
This unprecedented success, and he made it the greatest border calamity in the history, I think, of the world. I don't think there's a worse border in the world. I don't care if it's
He has never been to Africa.
a third world or fourth world country. There is no border so bad as the border we have. We went from the best border we've ever had in a period of 1 year to the worst border we've ever had.
I know, I've been watching them, babe. It's just like something has happened. Now he's got his sunglasses on. And I can't figure out what's going on with Man Bun Guy.
Over 2 million illegal aliens have trespassed across our borders, but that's also a fake number given by the press and others, because the
By Customs and Border...
number, I think, could be 10 times that amount. I think we're talking about tens of millions of people are pouring into this country. We see certain people and we sort of mark it down. Well, that's the number, but it's not. I think we have tens of millions of people, and these are not...
Okay, so just because you think so?
Not necessarily people that we want in our country. And that includes with the so-called airlift that they tried to take credit for. 3% of the people qualified to be on that airlift. 97% of the people, you'll be hearing from them in years to come, in many cases. We also saw a record number of migrant children because Democrats' very cruel policies are pushing vulnerable youths into the arms of child smugglers, human traffickers, and very vicious criminal cartels. What the criminal cartels are doing to women and children, unbelievable. And you know, the trafficking...
Well, they're criminals.
...is mostly in women. What they're doing to women is horrible. Yet despite all of this, Biden, Pelosi, Schumer, the whole group, and the radical left are still hell-bent on passing mass amnesty for illegal alien. One of the highest priorities...
By hell-bent, I mean making no effort? But...
is when Republicans take back Congress and eventually the White House will be to have a massive increase in the number of ICE officers and Border Patrol officers so that we can find and detain and deport every one of the illegal aliens that Joe Biden has released into our country.
Joe Biden hasn't released any illegal aliens into our country. Not one. Well, maybe one by mistake. But no, when they're in the country, if they've been released into the country, they are legal because they have an asylum claim. And they get to have the asylum claim heard. That's how the law works.
We should also pass a law that says that sanctuary city officials who knowingly release criminals will be charged as accessories in any future crimes. You know, sanctuary cities, it protects some very, very evil people are in sanctuary cities, totally protected. It's crazy. It's what the hell are they thinking? Thereby ending the whole concept of sanctuary cities, and we did a lot of it.
No.
But the clock ran out unexpectedly.
Well, you left office.
In addition,
you had 4 years to deal with the sanctuary cities. You said you were going to stop funding the sanctuary cities. The Supreme Court said, no, you can't do that. You can't defund American cities, you moron. So, yeah, if by clock running out... Uh-oh, what happened? We'll just wrap it up. Let's see what's going on.
and it belongs to you, Christina. You must never forget our nation does not belong to them. Our nation belongs to you.
Ah, so the nation only belongs to Trump supporters.
Belongs to you. And it belongs to you, Christina. This is your home. This is your heritage. And our magnificent American liberty is your God-given right. From Phoenix to Tombstone, from...
Tombstone? I want to go to Tombstone. That's that water park just outside Reno, isn't it?
Flagstaff is your God-given right. From Phoenix to Tombstone, from Flagstaff to Florence, from Mesa to Yuma to the Red Rocks.
Red Rock!
Of Sedona, we stand on the shoulders of
to Yosemite,
red-blooded American patriots who poured out their heart, sweat, and soul for our country and for our freedom. This great state was settled by some of the toughest men and strongest women.
The Native Americans?
Ever to walk the face of the earth.
The ones that the land was stolen from? Those settlers?
Arizona is where Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday, they were tough, became American legends. It's where the great American West became the American dream. And Arizona is the state where generations of pioneers and prospectors, miners and ranchers, cowboys and cattle hands, marshals and lawmen, tamed the frontier, braved the blazing sun, and showed the entire world how the West was won. So big, so important.
So big.
They gave everything to make America into the greatest country in the history of the world, and we will never let any socialist or communist movement...
Heart, sweat, and soul, says Todd Subler, the original name of Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
take that away from us.
Also, but later they became Earth, Wind, and Fire.
There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach.
That's the same thing. That's exactly the same thing.
There is no challenge we cannot meet.
There is no height we cannot...
There is no victory we cannot have as long
Except the election.
as that we are strong and proud and mighty Americans with faith in our hearts, grit in our souls, and courage in our veins. And that's what you have. We are the Americans who will make America great again. We are going to make America great again. We had already done it, and now we're going to have to do it again.
Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't...
We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up.
We will not concede.
We will never back down. We will stand proudly for our flag, and we will...
I wonder if he's going to play YMCA instead of Won't Back Down, which he should be playing. Which, by the way, should be no music there. But it'll be interesting to see at the end. I'll have to make it silent. You guys won't get to share. I'm sorry.
We'll start talking about greatness for our country again. My fellow Americans, make America great again, and all that represents. And it has only just begun. We have only just begun. Because we are one movement, one people.
We've only just begun.
One family and one glorious nation.
We are family. YMCA. Live from KTEL. All the hits you've
Under
never...
God. And together, we will make America powerful again.
Yeah. What about safe? We gonna safe? Wealthy? What are we doing? Where are we going with this?
We will make America wealthy again.
Yeah. How about safe?
We will make America strong again.
Strong. Good one.
We will
Good
make
one.
America
Cupcakes.
proud again.
No.
We will make America safe again. We
Never give up. Never surrender.
will make America united again.
Will we? Because when Joe Biden says there's nothing we can't do if we do it together as Americans, he does the together part. Okay? You're all like, it doesn't belong to them. It belongs to you, Christina. See how that doesn't...
And we will make America great
again.
Thank you, Arizona. Thank you. Thank you.
Da, da,
Thank
da,
you.
da. Ba-na-bum-ba-da-bum-bum. 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 Are they playing Shotgun or Soul Man? Hold on.
America. I love the line that he said there towards the end because
Which was
we
what?
have faith in our hearts,
I gotta pause it because the music, I don't want to get a copyright strike.
grit in our souls, and courage in our veins. And we need to remember. I think it was worth it, every moment of it. What do you think?
It's too much music. Okay, so that was that, kids. So another Trump rally. I don't want to denigrate his performance, but he was sloppy tonight. Sloppy. Just wow. Okay, but it won't make a difference. And of course, he won the election, and cheating, and Democrats, and yeah. So that's that. I think that's enough for tonight, guys. I think I will watch Don't Look Up. Do you want to watch Don't Look Up, Kevin Williams? I'm asking myself here. I don't know how I'm doing this, but I'm apparently chatting at the same time. Williams, should I watch Don't Look Up? And everybody I've talked to about Don't Look Up, they either love it or hate it. There is no in between. Is it too much Adderall? Is that what does that? Or is it too little Adderall? Like there's a balance in there somewhere, is there not? And if you don't have ADHD, then the Adderall has a completely opposite effect. So I don't know. Todd is correct. Good job, Todd. Good job being correct, Todd. What did Todd say? Oh, it's way behind on the chat room here. Hold on. Okay, cool. Let me see. I was going to give you an update on my son's girlfriend who has the COVID. Let's just do states before we get out of here. Call out your state. We'll check your COVID. We'll see if we can get your county and see how we're doing with the COVIDs. What's the song? See, I'm still behind on the... Is it Soul Man? Is that what Todd guessed it was? I think he's right, which is funny. The song title, I can't see it on the screen, so, and my other screen is just go, go, go. San Joaquin County. All right, let's do that. That's California. COVID. California. So California is still spiking. San Joaquin County is California. Oh, it's thinking. It's thinking. So you can see the straight up in the air there. San Joaquin is right here. So San Joaquin County, if we do the last 2 weeks, is new cases, 2,600. Yeah, the spike there on the 8th, but that was because it was 3 days. So, no, you're still on the upward trajectory, unfortunately. Anybody else? New Haven County, Connecticut. Let's do that. Let's go to Connecticut. Oops, not Coin-etiquette. Connecticut and New Haven. There it is. New Haven looks bad. Let's go to the 2 weeks. Yeah, you're just holding steady, but it's an upward trajectory. So you're looking at 2,200 cases yesterday. 7-day average is 2,500, so you might be a little bit of a downturn. Hold On, I'm Coming. Yeah, okay. Is the song title. Okay, it is Hold On, I'm Coming. Cool. All right, good. Rick Astley would be proud. Rick Astley is always proud. Franklin County, Ohio. Let's check that out, Phil. Franklin County, let's go to Ohio. Ohio and Franklin. Franklin, quite frankly, is... Oh, you might be going... No, you went up and then down and then up again. Let's look at the last 30 days for Franklin. Give us a better picture. No, you're still on an upward trajectory. Anybody else? Did I miss anybody? New Haven, Connecticut, we got that. Franklin County. Debbie has ADHD and no Adderall. Sometimes people take it, sometimes people don't. Whatever works for you. Am I going to update you or leave you hanging on the status of my son's girlfriend who has pneumonia spurred by COVID? I would love to update you. They haven't gotten back to me. So, I'll just check again, and no updates. So she has pneumonia. She went to the urgent care a couple of days ago. She got some medication. I haven't heard from them today, so I don't know. Oscoda County, is that how you say it, Debbie? Let's go to Michigan. We'll check out Michigan and Oscoda County. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Whoa, you guys are all over the place. You don't have the best reporting, is what I'm seeing with the health department in Oscoda County. Let's look at 30 days and try and get some kind of... Nah, it's just... You guys report every 4 or 5 days, so it's really... It is upwards. Let's look at the all-time and see if there's some sort of pattern to it. Not really. You guys are just... You just randomly... Someone goes by the mailbox and checks the numbers every few weeks. So I can't really help you. Why did I bring it up? Because during the broadcast, I asked what the situation was, and then I checked right now, assuming by now, 2 hours ago having asked, I assumed by now we would be getting some information. No information. 2 hours and 33 minutes ago, I checked. Okay, Michigan, we did that. Spokane County for Tracy, and then King County in Washington. Washington, there it is, and let's go to King first because we'll do this in alphabetical order. King County, I was just looking at that a couple of days ago. No, we're just spiraling up in King County. Let's look at the 2 weeks in King. We're flat, but we are the cases are way higher than they should be. Let's go to Spokane. And it doesn't look any better. Let's go the last 2 weeks in Spokane, and yeah, we're growing in Spokane. It still hasn't come down. So, depending on where you're looking, mostly upwards. Lincoln, Nebraska, you bet. Is that in Lincoln County as well? Do we know that? Nebraska, and I know some stuff. I don't know if that's in Lincoln County, but let's find out. If it's, yeah, there is a Lincoln County. I'm going to guess that's where Lincoln is. It makes sense, but then who knows? What the hell? Oh, they didn't report anything all through August, and then they reported everything at once. That's kind of funny. Thanks for watching, Phil. Get some sleep. Let's go to the last 2 weeks. Better ballpark. Yeah, it is. Yesterday it went down slightly, so that's good. They may be beginning the downward trajectory. We don't know yet. We've got to. It's going to be a week and a half to 2 weeks of down before it'll start looking like we're going down. And hopefully, if it does the same it's done in other places, let's do, for example, South Africa. Go South Africa, huge peak, and then a plummet. Okay, let's go to the UK. United Kingdom, boom, right up and then all the way down. I think you guys can see that depending on your... Let's make it easier for you. Let's go the last 3 months in the UK, and you can see where the wave hits, and then just right over the peak, and then drops off that cliff. Not back down to what it was, but that's good. Let's see Israel. This is what we want to happen here. I misspelled Israel, so let's go back on that. Israel still hasn't conquered it here. Let's look at the last 2 weeks. That's a huge spike for Israel. So it's kind of flattened out a little bit the last couple of days, but Israel still hasn't gotten a handle on this. So it just depends on where you are, kids. Let's just look for fun. Let's look at let's see how Singapore's doing, because they in general have had a pretty good handle on COVID. They take it seriously. And boy, they may just be getting into it, but we haven't spiked, we haven't spiraled straight up yet. Let's check out New Zealand, because they have done better, I think, than anyone. Yeah, they've never gotten a spike. They still don't have a spike going in New Zealand, so good for them. They take it seriously, and when they lock down, they actually lock down. I want to look at China, but China's just so deceptive, so we really can't. And then one last thing, let's look at South Korea, because they did a fantastic job with the original outbreak. And they got their spike, they got their Omicron spike, and then boom, it fell. So, good job, South Korea. Wow, it's just amazing. All time. Look at this. Look at it. South Korea had one of the early outbreaks. They tested, and they brought it right down. And everybody... By the way, they had no mandates in South Korea. They paid people to stay home. They are naturally a society that... I don't know, naturally, I should say culturally a society where they pay attention to the rules and everybody wears masks. Our good friend Daniel came back from South Korea after a year of COVID, and he's like, no, they didn't shut the gyms. People just didn't do it. They didn't go to the gyms because they didn't want to get sick. And people wore masks everywhere, inside, outside, didn't matter. And that's what's happened. Now, Omicron, tremendously contagious, of course, and they did get hit with Omicron, but it looks like it's come down. So that's good. Melbourne, let's look at, the Aussie Open is starting, says Kevin Williams. So let's go to Australia. Look at Melbourne. Boop, Australia and New South Wales, yeah? Oh, yeah, not good. Not good at all. Let's look at the last 30 days in New South Wales. Is Australia New South Wales? Is that where we should be looking? Again, I've never been to Australia. Let's look at Melbourne state. And I'm sorry, Melbourne is in Victoria. My bad. So let's go to Victoria. And yeah, no, it's a spike up. We do have a little bit of a fall the last few days. That's your fall. That's your 7-day average. So not really something you can count yet. Yeah, Olympics, huh? Awesome idea, says Babe. Yeah, we delayed the last Olympics by a year in Japan. Throw this one off a little bit. Summer this year so that the NHL can participate. But nobody listens to me. Okay, did I miss anybody's request to look at a county? King County, we got that. New Jersey, 23,000 new cases today. We'll check out Jersey there. Let's go to, that's Australia, hold on. Let's go to United States and New Jersey. And, oh, Jersey's on the way down. Good for them. New York, I believe, was on the way down as well. So let's look at the 30-day for Jersey. See, that's what you want to see. You want to see that arc down. And then the 2 weeks, we want to see a nice gradual slope down on 2 weeks as well. But when you put that on the big graph, of course, it looks down. So yeah, okay, good. Nice job, New Jersey. You're doing it. 7-day average, 25,000. New cases yesterday, 23. So good job. Back on January 5th, you had 38,000. Sorry, January 7th. January 5th, you had 37,000. So great job, New Jersey. Beirut, Lebanon. Okay, let's look at Lebanon and see what we can get there. Lebanon. Love the Lebanese flag, by the way. Spiking on its way down. We'll look at the last we can with Lebanon. Lebanon 2 week, and we are... Come on. There it is. Hopefully that's a crest. Hopefully it's on the way down. Really, the 7-day average right now is... it's actually going up. So the main graph is deceptive. It may not, Lebanon might not be over that hump yet. LA County. We looked at that earlier, didn't we? We'll do it again. This fucking Kevin Williams guy won't shut up. Yeah, we did look at it earlier. Did we not? Los Angeles. Right there. Up. Los Angeles keeps setting records on a daily basis. Let's look at the last 2 weeks in Los Angeles. And waiting. And yeah, record on the 13th. 44,000. Oh, I'm lying. It's 45,000. So 45,000 back on the 9th. 44,000 on January 2nd. We're not doing it yet in Los Angeles. So 28% positivity in Saskatchewan. Ouch. That's bad. That's like American numbers. Orange County. Let's take a look at Orange County. Orange County, by the way, they just do whatever they want in Orange County. They've never had COVID in Orange County. And there it is spiking. And they have numbers that they've ever had in Orange County. But their averages are way off. But they are on the way up still. So, sorry, Orange County. Babe says, yeah, that's not counting the unreported rapid tests. Of course, we've kind of lost track of cases at all. We can start paying attention to hospitalizations because we can kind of keep track of that. But cases and contact tracing and stuff like that, when you've got 1 million cases a day in the United States, what are you going to do? That's true. Mike Pillow does say that Australia's under tyranny. We are too. Everybody's under tyranny. So what are you going to do? All right, kids, I am going to go eat something. I'm hoping KFC. I'm really hoping that Joe has surprised me with some KFC. I don't think it's happening. So maybe we'll watch Don't Wait Up or Don't Look Out or whatever the hell it is. And I'm interested to know, will I love it or hate it? Let me just do a quick search for it. Don't Look Up. It's a 2021 film. And who directed it? Oh, that's Netflix. I don't want to go to Netflix. It's got Leonardo. It's got Jennifer. I love her. Ariana Grande, Kate Blanchett, Timothy, Meryl, Chris Evans. It's got an all-star cast here. Overview. Who directed? Jonah Hill is in it. Everybody's in this. Where? Don't Look Up. IMDb. Here we go. We can find out who directed it. Here. Oh, it's Adam McKay. It's got to be brilliant. So I'll see it. At Random didn't love it or hate it. Adam McKay is awesome. So just absolutely one of the greatest minds in cinema today, and in terms of comedy as well. So I think I'll watch it and hopefully enjoy it. And it may be a little on the nose. I think that might be why people don't like it. And someday I'll figure out what. Until that day, be good to yourself, be good to others, and most importantly, get me some goddamn